Oh, you travel in a pack. Yeah, exactly, yeah, I know. Okay, are we good? We have captions, we have everybody.
We're good, we have captions, you guys are on camera, like it's good.
Okay,
Okay.
you need a pen? Oh, you got it? Okay. I make a motion, we open the meeting.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Coe. Aye. Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Does any board member have any conflict of interest or anything to disclose regarding the items on the agenda this evening?
I do not.
I do not.
I do not.
I do not. Okay, with that being said, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and let's have our scouts lead us in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God.
Thank you. Okay, would the clerk just give us sort of the open meeting compliance and certification guidelines for public speaking?
Okay, speakers must give their name, address, and organization. There shall be an exemption for any category of people protected by New York State law. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes on any given topic. Speakers must observe the commonly accepted rules of courtesy, decorum, dignity, and good taste. And there we go.
That always helps. Okay, we open with any public comment. Is there any public comment this evening before we get into the agenda? Dorothea, is there any?
There's an awful lot of traffic coming in on Main Street from work.
Can you state your name and address, please?
Yes, my name is Margot Faz. I'm from Progress at 65 State Street. But on the traffic, it's amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of work being done on 490 and, you know, here we are. We have state roads going through our village, so you're right. It's not just on your sections, throughout the whole village. Good point. Anybody online with a public comment, please?
No comments.
Okay.
Okay, how many online? 3.
So. Let's see, so we're gonna switch around the agenda a little bit tonight. As you can see, if anybody has looked at the agenda, we have a very, very full agenda. It's because we have our summer hours where we only have one meeting a month. Hope everybody had a great summer, so we're kind of getting back in the swing of things, so we have a lot of things I think to kind of catch up on. With that being said, we will start with our Eagle Scout service projects. We'll start with Luca Hill. Good evening, come on up, have a seat. Sure. We're missing our podium. I know. So your project, thank you, everybody has had a chance to look at the project, and I know you've been,
You want me to say my name like you said?
well, yeah, sure. I mean, we have you on the agenda, that's okay.
My name is Luca Hill, Troop 341.
Okay, great. Do you want to just give you, just for everybody here, just sort of the overview of your project, because it's kind of a cool project.
Yeah, so I'm creating, constructing, and placing 3 informational signs at Arboretum by the DPW. I think it's, great for the community to educate on stuff like this. Not a lot of people know stuff like vernal ponds or like what it is. So I think it'd be great for the community.
We think so too. So we have 3 vernal ponds, and those, we actually have a representative from a frog house here. It was a joint project with our community. They were put in earlier this year, and they just mean that they're spring ponds, and so it gets our tadpoles in there and it gets our frogs going and all of that. So you're doing signage to explain and educate people when they look at these ponds. Am I correct?
Yes,
What
that's
they're,
correct.
what they're about?
Yes.
Okay, and I believe you also mentioned that you would be putting in some plantings that were native.
Well, we decided to pull that.
Okay.
because You said that there are various amount of plans.
There already are some there, but I
yeah.
wasn't sure kind of where you were with.
Yeah,
with-
so we
okay.
decided to pull that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were getting the signage though, which I think would be wonderful for everybody. Okay, and who have you been working with on that?
We'll be working with many volunteers, including peers of my troop, family members and family friends.
Mhm. Okay, and when do you plan to start your project?
Well, that date will probably vary because
Okay.
it depends how many signatures I get, but
Okay.
sometime hopefully in August.
Okay, okay. Just trying to get the overview here.
August.
August of next year?
No, August, this year.
Well, we were past
Oh,
August.
sorry,
so
sorry,
September.
October. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like, okay,
Yeah, I'm
maybe
still
it's got
sorry.
another year, and we didn't know. Okay, so that'll be great, because in the spring then, people will have the signage when the ponds really occur after the snow melts, so that's great. Okay, so we're looking potentially at October. Any questions from the board? Any
I
comments?
have one, Lucas, so I saw your cost estimate, your budget here, and you're planning on raising the money on your own?
Mhm.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great, because it's a great way to kind of learn how to fundraise, so.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
How many merit badges do you have?
I'm not sure the exact number, but I know I am at least 2 to 3 off from being fully complete with the process.
Which was the hardest one?
Probably personal management, because there's over 3 months of prerequisites to the merit badge. So, and it's very tedious.
Thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, anybody else? Any comments or thoughts on the project?
I just had one inconsistency. So the sign consistency with regards to other signs in the area, are you matching that? And,
Oh, yeah, we'll try to mention it.
okay, are you coordinating with anybody to do that? Within either the Frog Pond, the board or the DPW? Or is it?
Yeah, we'll be working with the Frog House, besides that, no one else. Yeah.
Okay.
And then also, I would think when you finalize your language for the signs, I think, if you could just send it to us so we see the language as well. I think that'd be helpful, because it's our reading, so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Someone,
John got it.
John's got it, okay. You're gonna make the motion
No.
to do what? We need an action.
No, you guys done everything. I'll make a motion to approve Luca Hill's Eagle Scout project to create and install 3 informational signs near the vernal ponds in the Arboretum.
I second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Co.
Hi.
Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Hi,
Motion passes.
thank you so much. I think it's gonna be a great project, and it's really gonna serve the community well, definitely. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
all right, stay in touch. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we have another scout here tonight. We have Riker Deej. Hi, Riker, come on up.
Nice to see you guys again.
You too.
Thanks for allowing me to present to you. Just to refresh your memory, I'm a Boy Scout working on the Eagle Scout project. Last meeting, I was here, we talked about me revitalizing the garden plots here around the village hall. I also mentioned the possibility of expanding that. And that's what we're now proposing to do. So, besides the village hall plots, we're gonna do the ones at the east and south entrances to the village, as well as the bumps at Church and Main to create a pollinator corridor through the village. The second update is that the mayor's office offered to contribute 60 native plants. And my family and I will provide the remainder, and we are actively seeking reduced pricing from local nurseries. And we plan to work on it during weekends of September and early October. And the mayor's office mentioned helping to provide high visibility vests to volunteers and safety cones when working in areas along the road. Let me know if there's any questions.
Oh, I just want to just say something. The 60 plants that we're providing, we would be planting anyway as part of our pollinator project in the village. So it's kind of an opportunity for us to help, for you to help us with that. So anyway, sorry.
So actually, it might be a question for you instead. So the total cost that you have in here, the $1,500, is that inclusive of the 60? Like, is that the total cost
That's like,
or just to you?
that's just me,
Okay.
that's like a rough estimate.
The
Yeah.
60 plants are in our budget.
They're already in.
Yeah, they're already factored in.
You know, it's just like a
Yeah,
complete budget.
yeah.
Okay.
I do want to say too, we may be doing some work around Village Hall, so we'll coordinate with you about where we're digging. So it doesn't interfere with what your project is as well, so. And that's something that we're gonna be discussing tonight. Any other thoughts or comments from?
What was your hardest merit badge?
Did you say?
What was your hardest merit badge?
Probably, citizenship in the community, because, I mean, there was a lot of, prerequisites for that. And I actually did have to attend a meeting of some sort. I think it was at the rec center. And, well, I was also a lot younger at the time, so it seemed like a lot of work.
That's the whole point, though, is to do the
Yeah.
work and get the badge, right? Any other comments or thoughts from the board? Yeah.
So this dovetails into an agenda item I have on, for later, and it's the question of, unlike the last project where the signs are relatively easy in front of the vernal ponds. Here we have 60 plants. What type of plants? Are these trees, bushes, shrubs, perennials?
Most of them are perennial natives. Yeah, do you want to speak to that as well?
Yeah, mostly perennials, natives, looking for like deer resistant plants, obviously. Cause we want them to last and
Okay.
not get, yeah.
So they're ones that were selected.
Yeah, we, and you had a chance to
Yeah,
meet with our
yeah,
gardener
I
too.
just-
Yeah, so he has the list and he's met with the village gardener as well.
Great.
And it really segues so nicely with our sustainability projects here, so.
So
we're appreciative.
the follow-up to that is, the location of, the perennials. Where and how is that being decided?
He's working with the gardener and also I'm a master gardener too, so we're just gonna, you can see around the building, there's blank areas, so. You're gonna be doing a little plan with the plants with our
Yeah.
gardener, just to make sure the right plants are in the right place.
So
Mhm.
current, and again,
Mhm.
dovetailing into what I was gonna talk about and on the agenda. With regards to the location around the Arboretum, right now, we do have a citizens group, Friends of the Arboretum. We also have the gardener, your master gardener. The board up till now really hasn't taken any specific or made specific input in terms of locations where and otherwise. And so I guess my question is this on the periphery? Is this in specific, more dense locations within the Arboretum along trails?
None of this is in the Arboretum. If you look at
Oh, I'm
the,
sorry.
documentation and the project,
Yeah.
do you want to just describe again where you're going to be doing the plantings?
Yeah.
It's not an Arboretum
My
project, yeah.
apologies. Okay.
So all
Yeah.
around, the village hall, and then, at, what is it, sorry.
It's the gateways, right?
The,
The-
the,
Project
yeah,
Park?
the gateways,
Mhm.
Okay.
the signage, like the,
Coming into the village,
The
you
local
know,
sign.
so
So
they
would it
planted
be like
out.
up Washington and that little.
I think there's one, yeah, there's one on, at the end of South.
Yeah.
And by Jefferson, am I correct? I don't
believe
have
so.
everything in front, and then I believe the other one is when you're coming into State Street, it's
Yes.
the signage
Right.
coming into the village, so it'll be wonderfully planted out for people coming in to our community,
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah, it's nothing to do with the Arboretum,
My pleasure.
independent project,
Yeah, thank you so
Okay.
much.
sure. Any other thoughts or comments from the folks? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve Riker Gage's Eagle Scout pollinator project.
I second. Oh, sorry, Dave.
Oh, boy, that was a tie, okay.
Okay, trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Linda.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Hi,
Motion passes.
wonderful, thanks so much, Riker, for doing the work, we're looking
you.
forward to it, we're here for you. Also for Luca. We are gonna be switching things around on the agenda tonight. And again, it's a full agenda, so we kind of want to keep things moving along. Is our engineer on the phone,
Yes.
Scott Harder? He has a commitment at, I believe at 7 o'clock, so we're just moving some of the items that he needs to address up further on the agenda. So the first one up is going to be on the drainage concerns around our historic village hall.
Scott, you should be able to speak.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, Scott.
Hi.
Welcome. So,
Thanks.
yeah, here we are, the drainage. I know that you have been doing some work also, making assessments about what is needed. We've had some flooding in this beautiful historic building. If you'd like to just sort of fill everybody in and just bring us up to speed as quickly as you can.
Yeah, we produced the drawing on, I shared it via email. I don't know if it's present for display or not. But essentially showing a pipe network to surround the village hall into which the the window wells can drain, and then taking it to a low point that we have on the site, which is a catch basin right near the driveway entrance into the parking area that is available to us and would seem to produce the least amount of trauma to the site. We are still investigating the internal plumbing in terms of floor drains and the sump pump, which is not functioning based on our present assessment. So things are proceeding. We did a soil test as well on the site. You might have noticed a pile of soil over in the northwesterly corner. We were hoping to get positive soil results so we could do what's called a dry well system and use the soil area to drain to in a way like the parking area does with the pervious pavement we have there. However, at the depth we needed to achieve, the soil was not that porous. So we switched gears and went back to the pipe system that I described originally.
Okay, and then I understand that there is one pipe that is is more compromised really than others. So we're sort of looking at that potentially as the first phase because it's more of an emergency. Am I correct in that understanding?
Well, there's one area that's probably the most troublesome.
Okay.
And that area is right where the sidewalk ramp from the parking area swings into the building. When that ramp was constructed, it doesn't seem like it considered the grading or the surface elevations near it. And right at that curve, you'll note that the window well is the window well is actually lower than the surrounding grades. So hence drainage flows into the window well. And that's problematic. That's probably the one that's most problematic of them all. Presently, we have the window wells covered as a temporary measure. But I think of all the ones that we've seen, that's probably the most troublesome.
So I think kind of where I'm going with this, and I know Dorothea, we've spoken about this as well, and is that there's maybe sort of an emergency phase. In other words, this seems to be the one that needs to be addressed quite quickly, and we need to get some pricing. And so I think the action tonight would be, the direction to get the pricing on that to make sure that we can move forward, because that potentially could be the one to really back up.
And there's also the stairwell concern that should be addressed immediately
Oh, the adjacent stairwell, there's a stairwell out there that's adjacent. Am I correct as well? And Dorothea, Scott?
We have drains at the bottom of the stairwells. We're not entirely sure what's going on with those, which is why we wanted to investigate the plumbing a little further. We don't know what's going on with the stairwell that's located on the, let's see, it would be on the southwest corner, I believe. That one did not show flooding issues, but we're not sure exactly what it does, and we want to have a complete solution to this problem so that it doesn't have to be readdressed.
Understood.
I might suggest if you wanted to do something initially that we find a contractor that can, respond on a time and materials basis. We could, for example, use the contractor who's working on the DPW project.
Mhm.
He has helped us so far with the investigation and the deep hole test that we conducted out there. And he just, would bill us hourly.
Well, I think we need to kind of get a handle on what that would be.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
yeah,
think,
sure.
I think that's the next step, Scott. And I think the board should consider that, there's something that potentially could back up again in the village hall. That seems to be the priority on that side of the building. We need to look at all the rest of the drainage, but I think we need to kind of start there.
So it's gonna be kind of like a phase one.
I think so. Yeah, that's a good way to put
There's
it.
an
Thanks.
additional phase we're waiting for Barrow. She's gonna provide a quote to look at the windows because all the windows are compromised around the whole building.
Yeah.
So they need to be addressed as
These are
well.
the window well windows, not,
So Scott, just from your experience, do you have any idea, give us a ballpark of what we're talking about for phase one, cost wise, in general?
If we were to do all the windows, and connect them into the pipe network as currently sketched, that's probably in the $5,000 to $10,000 range.
Okay, and then how about the drainage?
Well, that I guess is the drainage. As for the internal plumbing and how we need to route things differently within the building, I don't have a number for that. But the
the action would be to pursue that and come up with the plan of what that would look like.
yeah, we haven't had a chance to finalize our information on that yet. This is kind of our progress plan that we've submitted so far. It basically deals with the surface drainage and not with the drainage and the plumbing internal to the building.
Understood. What do you need from the board tonight to move forward on this?
I don't think I need anything beyond just allowing me to continue with the investigation as it goes into the building. I think we have our information on the outside of the building, and we have good information that way. We need to refine our understanding of what's going on inside the building, so we can take advantage of the improvements on the outside as well. For example, if we find that there's an opportunity to pump from the sump pump to this pipe network surrounding the building that we're proposing to construct, we would want to know where's the best location to make that connection with the least amount of trauma to the basement area and the facilities in the basement.
Okay, so essentially this is an update. You've looked at the outside, now you need to look at the inside.
Yep.
You're gonna be coordinating, obviously with DPW, with our superintendent, and Steve, should probably be part of that as well. Any questions for Scott? Yeah.
So Scott and Mayor, procedurally, is this something by declaring an emergency, we avoid the bid process and then can use an existing contractor that's on site?
Yes, if we find a situation, there's a major leak and it's gonna be a
Yep.
we need to act quickly. The outside, the more we investigate, when we find how bad it is,
Yep.
it does deter. Like that one corner, we had an idea, but now we know it's really bad.
Yep.
And we need to get that resolved immediately. That's an emergency situation.
Okay, so then this is a question, Scott, to you. With regards to the emergency nature of the different phases, outside, inside, and windows, would you consider them all to be urgent, emergent, or just necessary to get done?
Well, I think the one that we highlighted a few minutes ago, that area is the most important, so that's kind of urgent. Some of the others, the remaining ones probably aren't so much, so there's a little more time associated with that. I guess in terms of an emergency, taking care of the window wells on the, I guess it's the west side, that would seem to be the priority.
Scott, can you prepare a scope of work for the emergency section of this so that we've got something to give to a contractor to get a price and get them started?
Sure.
I think if you gave us that, it would give us, it defines the emergency a little bit more. It gives us some credibility to do that.
The other part,
Yes. And
Scott, the other part of this, what the initial amount Scott's quoting, and obviously it's a rough thing, it's still under the bid criteria for this type of project.
Even in an emergency situation.
Even in emergency, we could get 3 quotes, we have, but
Right.
it's not rising to putting out a publicized bid or anything right now.
Okay, so
You
we
have
still
to
go
get to
out,
30,000
we still get
quotes. You get quotes,
We get
which
quotes,
it doesn't,
But it's
Right.
not a formal bid.
it's not a formal bid.
Okay, and we have to get 3 quotes,
Yeah, that's our
Mhm.
procurement, yeah.
and one of those quotes hopefully comes from somebody who's
Yeah.
already on
Mhm.
site and working with.
Yeah. And we'll work our best diligence to
Scott.
get 3 quotes if needed, but if it's an emergency situation, like, we need to resolve that area. We need to resolve it, we can't.
That's right, and we can avoid the bid
Yeah,
process.
We can avoid that, right?
Owning a beautiful old building comes with a lot of urgent
Yes, it
need
does.
and surprises, right? So this is obviously not budgeted because we didn't know this whole thing was here. So for the record and for the board to be reminded, we have a lot of money going out into a lot of projects right now in the village. You see, we've got the front roof, I mean, and we're spending a lot of money right now. So take that under consideration when we're moving forward along through our agenda, please.
Are a lot of those grant funded?
The front project is a grant project, will be reimbursed. The Southern Wood is not, but it has a grant tied to it, so we'll be getting back 100,000 on that project. The DPW is not a grant.
And I would remind the board as well that it's so much of this maintenance and so many of these things have been deferred for many, many years. For example, what we're doing now with the restoration of the front porch and the balconettes, that was identified over 24 years ago by Bureau. So we're circling back.
Definitely need it.
So, yeah, and in a municipality, we're not a corporation, but the shareholders are our residents. So this is about investing the good money back into our community to improve our infrastructure and make it better. So, okay, so the action then is, and I thank you, John, for that, for just really framing that. Scott, to prepare that scope of work for the board for the first phase.
Okay, yes, be happy to do that.
Okay, thank you for that. Any other questions from the board before we move on to the next topic for Scott?
Nope.
Okay, so the next topic will be the sewer pump station upgrade. See, isn't this the glamorous work that we do here? These sewer station upgrades. Thanks, everybody. Have a nice night. So we're circling back on that. Scott, you just want to bring us up to speed, and I know, Jason, you're going to want to chime in on this as well.
Well, Jason may be more up to speed on it than I am. I mean, I met with the manufacturer's representative and I spoke with everyone, I think, a few meetings ago regarding the desire to get quotes on upgrading the Wood Creek pump station and also putting in monitors for the siphons. Jason and I have chatted about things. Most recently, we spoke about one of the siphons maybe being relatively low use and perhaps not warranting exactly the same treatment as the others. But I think I'll turn it over to Jason and let him speak about that if he's there.
Yep, yes. Yeah, do you want, anything you want to add in, just, frame it for the board?
Yeah, last we talked about adding monitoring systems, to all 3 of our siphons, upgrading the infrastructure at our older pump station, to kind of match the new pump station that's going in at 75 row. Upon looking at, our siphons, I really determined that the siphon closest to the village hall here, just north of us, really doesn't need this monitoring system. It's a very low volume system. I mean, it's a trickle on a busy day. And it really doesn't warrant any more work than what we do to go and monitor it in person. It's not a very labor intensive one to take care of. So I just feel that the savings is there to save the village a little bit of money, then let's defer that one and not do it.
So you're saying the other 2 would be
The
the
other
best
two
for the
definitely need it.
monitor?
They're very high flow, very high volume. They're very large circumference pipes, and we've had multiple issues in either of those. That's here, not so much. So I just don't see the need for us to spend at this time on that application. I mean, given they don't put some huge complex in, which I don't see that happening in the next 150 years. this area right here.
Pretty built out here.
So, that wouldn't really increase the flow there. So, and even when the businesses are, these few, buildings here in use, that does not flow lines.
So those are the ones that go underneath the
Yeah.
canal?
Yeah.
And what are they called again?
Segments.
Siphons that go under the canal. There were 3 of them?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. We have 3 very old sewer siphons going underneath the canal. And this is an opportunity because there's the new project going in at 75 Monroe. A new sewer pump station is going in down there with state-of-the-art monitoring software. We have an opportunity now to real-time monitor the activity on those siphons. So if there's any break, we know real-time before it backs up. Yeah, so, and also to upgrade another sewer pump station that's over at Wood Creek. So again, this is, as I say, sort of spending the good money to really real-time monitor our infrastructure. And, you know, I know that you mentioned there's other benefits too, just in terms of management of productivity with people and how we're checking out
I
the
think 2 or
siphons.
3 people will check these, a couple times a week.
Mhm.
It's obviously hours of time, if we have to do any sort of, maintenance to them. There's a lot involved, whereas if we have this monitoring system, it gives us that aid, that ability to know when there's something wrong.
Mhm.
Also to be able to check the flow, make sure that it's way easier to just check flow from a tablet or a PC.
Mhm.
Versus getting a vehicle, drive through traffic for 25 minutes to get to one of these, deal with whatever else there is going on. And then these aren't always the most accessible locations or in, ones along the railroad tracks by the bridge, so that's okay clearance from CSX. So being able to push a button and read on a computer is a lot easier than having to drive over there, get clearance right away.
And my understanding is that the town also has the same software and we have an intermunicipal agreement. So I think it's to everybody's benefit. Match up between the 2 municipalities because we support each other if there's an emergency or anything like that.
So again, this was kind of another surprise that kind of came up this summer for us, right? Another cost for the record and for taxpayers and for the board to understand, this is another cost that has just come to our attention this summer. So keep that in the back of your mind. Thank you.
So Jason, if we eliminate one of the units, they're showing a unit price of $7,600 and, freight, everything else. So we would take about $8,000 off of this
Mhm.
27,000.
Yeah, I think there's a few more pieces to that,
Yeah.
in the fine print there, but yeah, you'd be saving that amount. I think it's closer to $9,000 altogether.
Yeah, be maybe just under 20, maybe 20K we end up with roughly.
That we have to pay.
Mhm.
Cost us 20 cents.
Yeah, pay to oversee our infrastructure that is over 100 years old.
Yeah, we need it. We need it. I agree.
Yeah.
Wait, so the all-in cost just for the monitoring systems would now be about 20,000. But then the total project cost will be closer to 30, right? Once we include the other piece,
What other piece?
No,
there is a $12,000.
Oh, you mean well, there's annual monitoring fees.
No, the Nexon
What-
complete touchscreen display for the Woodcrest controls upgrades.
Wood Creek,
Oh, Wood Creek. you
that,
mean.
that's the
For
other
Wood, yeah,
portion, of it. that would be upgrading the Wood Creek section.
yeah. So
So that's that's adding monitoring to the Wood Creek pump station. It currently has no monitoring. We go over there, sometimes 3 times a week to, cycle the pumps, check on the pump station, clean it out. And manually activate pumps and inspect
Mhm.
manually. If something goes wrong there, we do have an alarm system. It's very dated. It's basically a stick that hangs. And it has a bunch of different sensors on different levels of it. So as the level rises, if it gets too high, the alarm will go off. If it does not, go back down. So that does happen. We do get, test calls and things like that. When we're over there, we'll tip it upside down and trick the system to hope that they'll give us a call, the monitoring system. They
Mhm.
usually do. So we know that it's working. Is it old fashioned? Yes. Is it from, the 90s? Yes.
Mhm.
Does it work? Yes. So, it's a means to kind of upgrade our ways of doing things and make it more efficient for the DPW to be able to focus on other things. Whereas now a phone call happens instead of us going over there every day and, checking on it.
It's a real time.
Yeah, more real time.
Mhm.
so thank you, David, for bringing that up. So what does the total cost then
I
come
think
to?
it's back down to about 31,000.
So it's about 31,000, not 20.
And that, is that less the
That's including
cost
this.
of,
That's less
Sure.
than
Mhm.
8,000.
Yeah, originally it was 40,000 something.
Yeah, 30 netted it out.
question on this, when do we need to act by? In order for these quotes to be firm, and when do we need to get it done by, or is this an open-ended?
Scott, I believe this is open-ended, correct?
I think it's open-ended. I mean, I'd have to check with the manufacturer's representative to see how long that pricing holds. I just had one quick comment on the costs. Is it my understanding that these improvements would be eligible for funding through the budget of the sewer fund?
Yes, these would be a sewer fund budget. I would almost think, I should talk to our attorney, but I think the upgrade to Wood Creek pumps might be covered under that reserve.
Yeah, we have a Wood Creek Reserve already that's been in place for many, many
So
years.
that portion could be covered under that.
Mhm.
And
The 12.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up with respect to the surprise costs. I understand the thought behind that comment, and I've just always been of the understanding that the village has escrowed monies away every year for items like these that are currently emerging. So I would just put that out there.
We have, I mean, last time I checked, it's about 58,000 in restricted or reserve funds for exactly this.
Exactly.
We have we have different lines, infrastructure reserves. We have the Wood Creek, as I said, we could take from there to cover that.
Could we also not just take it from the general? Not the general, but the reserves, the sewer reserves are quite large. We've been working them
Yeah,
down.
we have quite
We
a
have
bit in our
continued
sewer reserves.
capacity.
We need to talk about that later,
Yeah.
so.
So when it
Well,
comes to
there's-
funding this, the sewer is well funded.
Yeah.
And we've been looking to work that down, and the funding of reserves, personally, I wouldn't immediately take it out. I think we have plenty of other funding, fund balance.
Our fund balance is down. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
We can
that.
talk about that on
It's
funding.
down because we funded the reserves.
Let's put it this
There
way,
you go.
Just
we
saying.
can take it from.
Sure. So let me ask you this quick question. This has a little bit to do with budgeting. So right now we have two separate quotes. And the quote for Wood Creek has a 1 day of field installation services at $3,000. And then the other three had a $2,500 1 day of field startup services. My guess is they could come out on the same day and get the project done on the same day, and it's not two separate days of travel back and forth. Is it possible, because this isn't a urgent situation, to get a consolidated quote that simply delineates the expense between Wood Creek and everything else? And that way we might be able to save on the 1 day of field startup services.
Yeah, we could reach out to them.
So that'd be my preference, to see a slightly modified quote that consolidates it into one, assuming that we do two monitoring systems. And then the Wood Creek. And then have that be updated, and then we vote on that.
Okay, so, but you made a note, Dorothea, that the quote was good for 60 days?
On here, I noted that it showed 60 days.
Yeah, so we need to circle back.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Circle back. I don't believe this is, I talked to Scott, or I've heard that this is more of a sole source, this isn't a bidding situation. It's one of those criteria that will fall out of that.
It's a unique.
It's a unique thing because it's high tech.
Okay, I suppose to that end, we have 6 days until the 15th, which is the end of the 60 days. So if we have to have an emergency meeting or something, great, but hopefully they can just refresh it and give us another 30 days at least to come to vote on it.
I put that down as an action item. Yeah,
Okay.
that's an action item.
Thank you.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why, this is an opportunity actually that came up because of the nature, even though it wasn't in the budget per se, it was an opportunity that came up. And I know, John, you may want to speak to this too, because you've been sort of in touch with what's been going on at the 75 Monroe project with the sewers, the sewer station going in there. They're putting in, it's all state of the art. So it makes sense now to just revisit all of this for the rest of our infrastructure. So it's just the timing of what happens.
Especially with the intermunicipal agreement with the town.
Yeah.
It links us that much closer to shared services.
Yeah, it's a good point as well. Thank you for that. Okay, so then the action item is just to circle back as quickly as we can.
Yep.
Taking a look at consolidating those installations
Yeah.
and see if they can revise it. Okay, Scott, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I can contact the manufacturer's representative if you would like me to, and ask him to do what's been requested here. If that's what you'd like me to do.
That works for everybody.
And
Thank you.
Scott, when you do that, just one more question. This was from our last meeting. Right now, the warranty that's represented in this quote is deferring to the manufacturer's warranty, but it doesn't explain what that is. Could you,
Okay.
could you obtain the warranty information for the parts?
I don't have the warranty information. But I can certainly,
Could you
name
just?
the warranty information.
Yeah, if you could just ask the vendor when you speak to them. Okay,
I'd be happy to.
thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
Scott.
so much. Scott, thanks so much too for joining us on this. Jason, is there anything else you wanted to add, or we're good moving forward? Okay. I know you have another meeting, Scott. Anything else for Scott before we release him to the world?
Goodbye, Scott.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Scott, very much, very helpful.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. The next, we are gonna just switch the schedule just a little bit. We have the Frederick Douglass statue review. Is Olivia here? Yet, or zooming in? Are they online? Or Kevin? If they come in later, then we can address it. Okay. Okay, so we'll defer that for now. Next up, RG&E. The contingency, the flotilla in the room from RG&E.
Stand just so we're not in our backs, everybody.
However, well, you're addressing the board actually, but, yeah, it's okay.
You two go ahead.
Well, I'll start. Thank you for having us. My name is Anne Alavi. I'm one of the municipal community relations managers for the company. Typically Adrian Hale would be your contact mayor, but he is away on the meeting today. So I'm so
Welcome.
Can we talk a little bit louder? I can't hear.
Or maybe if you stand at the side, then you can address the board, but we could hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have our podium set up here.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
There we go.
I'm Anne Alavi. I'm one of the.
Probably the same when you're in
community
back.
relations managers for the company. So we are here today to present the upgrade project for our light circuit number 62. And I'll introduce the team and they'll talk more to the project. So myself again, and a lot of municipal community relations manager. Melissa Marzavello, project manager. Carl Miller, project engineer. Mike Marchetti, he's our construction manager. Len DeSalvatore, he's our project outreach specialist, and then Aaron Calcagno, he's our business relations manager, so he manages the streetlights for the village here. And with that, I'll turn it over to Carl to give you guys some more details on the project.
I do want to say thank you so much, that we are really tight on time tonight, so we can all keep it moving. Thank you. Good to see you. Welcome.
See you again. So I just handed out at least to the board members here, quick presentations. I believe we came in a couple months back to do a quick talk. We can either go slide by slide, or I can kind of talk off the cuff here. I know we've got a few streetlights that we're looking to upgrade along Monroe and South Main Street. I believe it's 38 lights. These lights are approximately 100 years old. I know we were just talking about really old infrastructure. They currently use something called pump log duct, which is hollowed out logs with conductors running through them. Technology that was common 100 years ago. We're looking to upgrade these to LED and install all new infrastructure to support that. So in the interest of time, that's the quick down and nerdy on it.
Yeah, we're past whale oil, so we're moving forward. Okay. Oh, wow, that was
Oh,
quick.
yeah, I don't.
All done.
So also this is, we're a clean energy community and a climate smart community. So this is great that we're getting this upgrade as well. I know you've been converting the lights to LED and things like that. So.
Yeah, they actually just finished.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry?
The conversion was completed.
Oh, no, the whole conversion was completed? Okay, so maybe it's just still some of ours that are left. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, all good stuff. So this is really about maintaining the integrity historically of the streetlights, but properly upgrading them.
Yeah.
So that's where we are.
And effectively, have you guys run into an issue with procuring parts to try and fix some of these old ones?
That is definitely
That's it.
part of it.
Big
Yep.
time.
Okay.
Oh, we have it in the other
Yes,
room.
we do.
You want to bring it up?
It's right around the corner. Go in, sharp left, right by the copier. Yeah,
The other thing I'll mention, these fixtures, which Mike's gonna bring in here in just a second, One of the positive upgrades is the, kind of acorn that helps distribute light. It's called a type 3 distribution, which kind of throws almost like a kidney stone to direct light out towards the road, trying to help keep it off people's houses. I know the older lights just throw light in 360-degree angle, so that's kind of what you can see with some of these lines that run through here. There's an arrow that helps to reflect light out towards the road and off of folks' houses.
Out and down, nothing goes straight, everything comes out and down,
That's good, because we're a dark
Window.
sky community, yeah.
and windshields, cars.
Mhm.
So the lumens and the color, what does that compare to what's there now?
We have, compared to what there is there now, I don't know, but we do have test lights up in Brighton right now. And your code enforcement officer has tested them and they meet code.
They're soft, they're under 3,000 K and they're soft, like,
We don't have the harsh white light is really, just so everybody understands, we want a warm,
It's warm,
warmer,
and
yeah,
it fits your town, for
Yeah.
your village code.
complies with code, because we're a dark sky community.
And how would that differ than what's up there now? Do you know? Is it the same brightness, is it the same color? Do we know? Is
I mean,
there-
they're not gonna be the exact same, but it's this, you know, because we're monitoring their LED. but They need to then spectrum of the code for the village.
For the lighting code?
Mhm.
You won't see the wall, you'll see the drone.
Mhm.
So right now, you just see the wall and it goes 360, you can see the drone. And it's gonna. So
I think some
it's gonna
people,
be completely different.
they hear LED and I think some people freak out and take it like this bright blue
Yeah,
thing, but. I mean, a soft light.
yes.
The technology has improved.
And these are also very similar to what we've already installed. Operations did a conversion in Brighton,
Mhm.
a few different circuits, so, you know, these parts have been utilized before, they've been out for a few years now. So this isn't a, you
Yeah.
know, brand new experiment, so to speak.
And then how far of a distance does it go different than what is already there?
The exact same.
So the light distance from the light to how much it illuminates the
Well,
area?
I know it does throw with these, that type 3 distribution lens, it'll help to direct light. I wanna say it's 25 feet out toward the road, which is, will be close to center line of road. Right there in front of the light itself. So light does go a little bit further than that, but it's not as intense. That's part of what this distribution lens helps to direct the light.
And then you gave us locations in Brighton where we could go see the lights, right?
Yes.
Didn't you? Yeah, you know what, if you could just circle back and provide that again, just, you know,
We have-
because then we could even go out and see the
Field
lights,
trip.
you know, yeah, field trip.
There is a map in the packet. The
Right.
Yeah.
roads that are indicated are those roads that these lights and specifically the bulbs have been installed. So everything in Brighton is done or is Brighton?
No.
No, okay.
So, hold on, let me just-
You're doing a lot of lights in Brighton, aren't you?
Yeah.
We're doing 5 circuits in building and then you're part of that same circuit, so we're doing
Oh.
circuit here.
Wow, Okay.
It's all the old,
wow,
replaced.
okay.
And primarily in the commercial districts in Brighton, is there any residential?
It's more all residential.
It's all residential.
Mhm.
Oh, mainly, yeah. So what we're doing right now.
Yes,
I do have,
it's significant.
Wow.
I believe we can get a better map here, but the first two that we're doing right now are the yellow and green circuit.
Oh,
Those
that's
are,
right now.
Okay.
we're trying to have those
Yep.
completed by the end of this year.
Okay,
Yeah. I know that.
Just to give a better idea.
referencing dates ending this year, what's the date by which you would like to have approval from the village to proceed at the path that you guys are taking in the timeframe next day?
You understand, sorry, you understand that this meeting today is the first step, and then the approval is associated with this meeting. And then we proceed to the Historic Preservation Board,
Mhm.
any proposals to sites with them. And if there's anything else that we can talk about, happy to get into that. As of right now, we are aiming for 2027 for construction.
Mhm.
But we, as much as possible, we'd like to be respectful of your village schedule in terms of your events. Because we understand that some of those involve walking through along the sidewalks, and we don't wanna,
Mhm.
have a lot of construction materials in the way of that. Also poses a potential safety hazard, watching where they're, so we'd like to minimize that potential.
Can they be done in the winter?
Well, I mean, you definitely work on that.
I'm just wondering.
It takes a longer
Okay.
time, and then if I get done digging or drilling in the winter, you're gonna have mud until green grass. If I do it during growing season, you'll have grass within weeks of us being done in your front.
So it's a little more efficient.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
we
helpful.
get a lot more complaints doing work,
But I mean,
so
you
you're
know,
gonna be dealing with a lot more.
our big events are like Memorial Day is
Yeah,
huge.
right.
You know, we spoke about this and
Yeah.
you've requested a list of events, so.
Sure.
Well, we have a license.
Yeah, yep, we have the bicentennial as well coming up, so that'll be.
There's, you know,
Fourth of July.
we can take a couple weeks off if we got a lot going on, clean stuff up, you know, depending on the contractor. I mean, we'll work with your schedule. But you'll get more complaints if you want us to work on that. There's gonna be mud on the roads, there's gonna be, it's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, Dave?
With regards to the village road that is just an upside down L here, are there other roads that are not on this circuit that may come up in the future? Are these the only two roads that have these lights lit?
For this circuit, these are the only two roads where we're doing the majority of our work. There are a few roads in the surrounding area where there's overhead conductor that was run. The old system, you can think of almost like a Christmas tree light string, where you have it down and back. So I believe the story or the history on the circuit was some of these different lights were taken down, but the circuit that still carries the electricity to the lights on these two streets was left up. So we will have to bring in some trucks to pull the wire from overhead down. It'll be pretty quick, significantly quicker than any of the new poles or fixtures and new infrastructure that we're installing. But there is a little bit of work in the surrounding area because we want to take that old conductor down off the overhead lines and just get it out of there. It's no longer needed.
So this is the only one that involves the circuit, a little bit more work. There are other lights throughout the village that will take on this form, right? And the new LED, is that correct?
So I know at least
No.
for us in projects, I don't think so. Us
Okay.
in projects are only working on these old
Yeah.
OL circuits.
Yeah, we're trying to get rid of the pump log and the old wire.
These are the concrete lights, the ones with the concrete pole, or won't be the black poles.
But I'm sorry, they're only on this red L that's shaped on the map.
Right, so it'll be South Main Street and then Monroe.
There's no other area that has.
Not the
these.
village, no.
You're asking where those exist.
Yeah, and they're just there.
Yeah, correct.
Just
That's right.
Exactly.
And I apologize, I was specifying there's a little bit of work on some of the other surrounding streets. I think Sutherland was one of them, a few others.
But not lights like this on the cement poles.
And to make it more confusing, you own some of the lights and we own some of the lights and,
Correct.
you know.
Okay.
And then is there a cost to the village?
Don't believe so.
I don't know how the building can speak to the building.
No? Oh, I like this.
I don't believe for the construction,
But,
you'll still pay whatever.
I know there are like.
We have-
right.
Yeah.
Type down. But the actual changing of the light fixtures and the whole work,
This is what they're doing. for the
your infrastructure. is cost.
Usually get that behind.
Yeah, so it'll save you money.
We love that.
Yeah, okay,
Money.
no cost, save us money, that's a first.
Anything else?
I have a question for you. Knowing the location of where these lights are and knowing that it is a main thoroughfare. Are there any rules or anything that we need to abide by in order to do our work? Because, you know, we're looking at this road and there's only two travel lanes, so. You know. are you gonna be having to
Monroe
encourage
Avenue,
everybody-
Monroe Avenue is the state highway. You have to get a highway
Yeah.
work permit.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And so,
And
so,
so-
so.
so-
South
so-
Main
so-
Street.
South Main.
They're
South
state
Main
roads.
too. They're all state roads.
And to a certain extent, there are kind of parking spots. I know it narrows down as you get further south, but.
Just wanna get the concerns out there now, since we have some time to address those, but. You know, due to the fact that we experience, you know, just ourselves arriving here, you know, that is all the time of the day, we wanna make sure that our contractor is aware of, any restrictions if there are any.
Yeah, I think it would be, very specific coordination based on where you are along the street and where the parking spots are and what do we need to do? Maybe DPW needs to coordinate things up,
And time.
That would be
time
the right
clear.
coordination.
If it's leaf season, I mean, you're not touching my ground, I'll tell you that. So
This is the stuff we need to.
Yeah,
From a construction standpoint, then it doesn't sound like there's any restrictions. Super specific from you all right now, it's gonna be more dictated by DOT.
It's their road,
Perfect, I just wanted.
but it's in our village.
You know, if
and
everybody
so-
wants to get their eyes on it, you go over to the Warrington area in Brighton,
Mhm.
and you'll see basically what the construction looks like.
Okay,
You'll see all the little squares with the orange fence, what we dig, and then drill as much as we can. We're
that's
not
just what happened on
drenching,
Sutherland.
we're barely drenching anything.
Yeah.
So you'll see a whole bunch of, probably right now, about 100 little squares fenced off. We'll drill and then we come in, pull the wire, and then we clean it all up. So there won't be any massive construction.
Trucks lined up.
Yeah.
You're not digging up the right.
It's all directional drilling.
So there'll be coordination where, bulletins will go out. I'm sure you're gonna help us, alert the community, get out, that's
The
the big
mailers,
component. Yep.
we can do informational meetings if need be.
We actually mailed out, you have a copy, Mike passed out a copy of
Yeah.
the, actually, which you should have electronically, and I believe it's on the web, if it's not on the website.
Mhm.
It's also on the Brighton,
Mhm.
Brighton's website as well. But back in April, we sent out these fact sheets and a notification letter to all impacted customers, including those in Pittsburgh, about this project.
So there's, and it's, you have to
Awareness on-
keep putting it out there as you,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We'll keep that going.
Okay.
Move forward.
okay. Any other comments from the board? Anything else you need from us specifically this evening?
Any other boards we need to do this?
Well, the Historic Preservation Board is gonna wanna know what you're
I'll
doing.
work with you on that.
And what about PCBA? I don't know that, not necessarily because it's. Yeah, exactly, so. Yeah, but it would definitely be the Historic Preservation Board, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, so having in Brighton, they okayed this fixture for 5 years, so if we're not done in 5 years. Basically, I don't know if we're looking for the same, if that's what happens here, but we're ready, whatever you need, we just wanna do it now.
right,
Because what happened there was we were doing the meetings while we were making construction schedules. And it ended up delaying us about 4 to 6 months
right.
of our construction start. And that's why we're still working up there, where we should be pretty close to done. So we want to get everything done like a year in advance.
I think that's
6 months
great,
in
and
advance.
thank you for that.
So
Thank
no
you really
delay.
for reaching out, yeah.
We learned the hard way.
So I would,
I'm a West Side guy.
okay, so coordinated through Steve and also the office, in terms of getting it to the HPP, any other things that are required, they. Okay,
Any other approvals associated with this board? With any changes?
The only one, I suppose, would be the lighting, specifically the bulbs and what they look like. And that's not under our purview.
that would be actually,
Or
Lighting
Steve.
and
code,
Steve just spoke to
Yeah,
that
and Steve's
about,
approved it.
Right.
So I guess all I'm saying is that.
which is
Yeah,
typical for what he
He
would
got a
do.
cut sheet,
Mhm,
he's went and seen him in the dark.
Yeah.
We wanted to start there.
mhm.
This is a great example of, we're sitting up here hearing this, thinking about the lighting and wanting to make sure that, Steve, we agree, you have the control and the authority on this. But if a bulb comes out and the way you see it is different than the way we see it, we have an opportunity to go to Brighton. And I guess what I would just ask all of us is if we want to have an impact on lighting, take a look at it in the next few weeks and bring comment back at the next meeting. Absent of that, I would suggest we just remain silent and everything's good as.
Yeah, I think
already approved.
it complies with the code.
That's
So a
right.
good example in Brighton, is there one road that we should look at?
On that, we're still up, probably where those, holes were put for.
Yeah, where the balls are put to look at the ball, but we're on Verona,
Verona?
we're in that area around the school. You won't miss all the orange fences.
And the bulbs are in there, so we can go at night and see?
Not, the construction's going on there. We have a test location. I believe it was Midland and cannot remember the cross section. We can, whoever.
Why don't you put, rather than go back and forth here, let's just contact the office,
Yeah,
get the
we'll send you
information.
an email.
It will be
Yeah,
distributed,
so
the
we can
board
go
can
in
go
the-
look.
Yeah,
Everybody,
Sure.
send an email what major roads we're on right now.
Yep.
And where to test.
Perfect.
I'll send you that.
thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
that's great, that's great.
One last question for you is the, Historic Preservation Commission, is that meeting take place here?
Yes.
Okay, so we can leave the fixture here for whenever. we
Please
get-
do,
Perfect.
yeah, love it,
Right,
okay.
even better.
It's not fun to transport.
Don't take it with.
We can maybe put it back, that'd be.
You brought it back.
I know. Everybody wants
it.
Was there a question? I'm sorry, Miss, hi, yeah.
Maria Lynette, Elmore Drive. I wanted to ask, kind of take a picture of that?
Absolutely.
Oh, sure.
Stay right here.
Because I know taking pictures and stuff from the village hall, I just make sure, I'll take a picture of that. But I wanted to make sure I understood, so when the light comes down, thank you so much. when the light comes down, is it shine more towards the street and less towards sidewalks and houses, so it'd be kind of.
As long as the installer puts the ones in here.
Okay.
We will be checking. We will be checking.
And what's happening to the old ones?
Those will be put in storage and saved until all the circuits are done to use for parts, because we cannot get parts for those anymore.
Yeah, they don't get, I mean,
Yes.
we're always trying to source, I mean, we're always looking for parts, so.
What's salvageable out of be in permanent storage?
Yeah.
And reuse.
We'll be using any usable parts
Mhm.
until all 6 circuits are done.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll be putting this information probably online, so people can see and know that this is coming down the pike.
These
You
are
know,
your
you-
lights.
So reaching out.
These are their lights.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we appreciate the courtesy and,
Yeah.
the consideration to continue to put them in as they look now.
Because the question came up in the break and some of the residents wanted that fixed forward.
Yeah.
And we sent it to legal, and there'd be a lot of work to make the lights safe enough where it could never be used as a light. For us to give them that
Got it.
because of legal liabilities.
Sure. Okay.
Share with me, along Monroe and South Main, there are some Q-tip lights, right? Where it's the black pole going up with the little white round bulb at the top, rather than that style that we just saw. Are those staying as is, or are those also?
Those are not, we're not touching those as part of this project.
Those must be on a different side.
Okay, so they're on the same road, and we're talking, 50 feet or 50 yards apart or something, but it's just a different circuit, so. Those are only replacing the ones that look like that.
In
The harp lights.
That's right, so you're not replacing it.
Correct.
Okay.
Welcome to pre-existing non-conforming.
Yep.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, really.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the time. Okay, all right.
I don't know.
They're identical.
Yeah.
They're identical.
Oh, you're great. They're really great. I know, and they're really lost. Thanks again. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Arboretum maintenance, and that's Dave.
This is me, huh? All right. Thank you. So this is. let me just go to that.
Oh, should we schedule the public hearing? I don't went over that. Did I?
I thought there was a public.
Oh, there is a public hearing.
Yeah.
We can't, as
Yep.
long as you don't start it early.
Yeah.
you start it-
Oh,
okay.
I see what you're saying. No, it's not that, I
right.
misunderstood.
Yeah, no
it.
worries.
So it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
that day set.
Yeah,
No,
Want to do
and
it
then
now?
we'll get to the public hearing.
as long as you don't get 5 minutes before.
Okay.
You want to do it now? Delay the public hearing, or you want me to?
No, let's, we're on it. It's
All right.
right on the list.
Very good. So this, I had a little blurb.
Thank you for that.
Yep. Trying to describe what we're gonna talk about, and let me just go to that, sorry.
You mean my sheet?
No, I've got it here. So this is a discussion on the near and long-term objectives for the Arboretum, future management structure, roles, responsibilities, including the role of the Friends of the Arboretum, DPW, the village, etc. So I just had a couple comments. It's not as long as it looks.
And then I'd like to say something after your comment, because I have a thought on some of this. as well.
Okay.
Mhm.
So this stems from 5 years of having the park, designating the park, having a resident group that's really got together and done a lot of weeding, a lot of work out there trying to address invasives. We have the Frog House having recently raised funding as a 501c3 for putting in the vernal ponds, and they're very beautiful. I'm sure they will be even more so next year as the greenery comes in around them, right? And we have had some discussions on maintenance within the DPW, and I thought it's all kind of been coming to a head that the best thing to do is find the right structure for how we operate within the village, within the community, within resident groups, and to a degree appropriate, formalize it. So I just want to offer some comments, and then Mayor, turn it back over to you if you mind. So creating a partnership between a village and a Friends of the Park organization is an effective way to strengthen community life and ensure long-term green space And an agreement invites residents to take an active role in stewarding trails, gardens, natural habitats, and deepens a sense of ownership and pride. A lot of this has already taken place, but without formal agreement or understanding, other than each time everybody comes before the board, right? It unlocks opportunities for fundraising, volunteerism, grant support that extend beyond the municipal budget that we can typically provide. By working together, the village and the citizens can achieve a higher quality maintenance and creative programming that neither could sustain alone. A collaborative approach allows improvements to be thoughtful, measured, and consistent with an overall plan, ensuring the park's character and integrity are preserved. The process will build stronger ties between government and residents, creating a culture, shared responsibility. For the Friends Group, it provides a formal pathway to make a tangible difference. The model can be flexible, scalable, future focused. And for the municipality, it allows this connectivity to a group that supports a broader mission that they individually couldn't do both within the DPW or within the village board. So a couple quick bullets. Why do it? Shared stewardship, harness community energy and volunteerism, fundraising capacity. Nonprofits can raise donations and grants that municipalities often cannot access. Civic engagement builds community ownership and pride. Specialized expertise. So Friends Groups often will have additional ecological, horticultural, and cultural expertise. We do have some internally, both in the DPW and on the board, but in the community that exists as well. Cost efficiency can reduce reliance on taxpayer funds and improve the quality and the upkeep. Couple things, general requirements to establish it. You identify partners, clarify roles, draft agreements, talk with legal, approve it by resolution, sign and implement, right? How to do it. Some of this stuff has already been done. Form a core group, right? To create a steering committee, choose a legal structure that would be independently by the nonprofit. My understanding right now is there is no legal structure for the Friends of the Arboretum, so that's something that might have to be pursued. Aligned with a plan, that's something that we would have to create on our end, right? Set clear boundaries. To what degree can you work within the Arboretum? Discuss liability protection, the responsibilities of the resident group to do that. Define communication channels. We already have liaisons with the Friends of the Arboretum, the DPW. I know you communicate there when you go out to weed and to do other things in the park. Transparency, and then this is something that can be evaluated, renewed, and updated over time. A couple of examples. There's a Friends Group that coordinates with the government in Thatcher State Park, Letchworth State Park, Webster Arboretum, Friends of Fillmore Glen State Park, Friends of Knox Farm State Park, Hamlin Beach, Monroe Lake, Grafton Lake. These are all community groups that have come together to create nonprofit 501c3s that support local residential engagement and support the parks as I've identified before. I don't think this is difficult, but I think it's something that needs to be done. Clear boundaries, clear guidelines, a straightforward, relatively simple plan. We don't need a 10-year plan right now. We need a 10-year plan. We need a 1-year plan or a 2-year plan. The work that the Friends of the Arboretum has been doing, whether or not it's weeding, addressing invasives, planting trees, things of that nature, I think can easily be done. Fundraising for the vernal ponds, really amazing work that has been done. So, but what I want to do, and this has to do with things like mowing or things like where trees might be planted or how specific a plan do we need to create in order to allow relatively basic level improvements and maintenance over time until they come up upon a threshold by which we limit the capacity of a local residential group to engage in. By defining that, I think you create a better understanding of the long-term success of this partnership and of the park itself and for the community. I did speak with, just as an example, and Carol Huther. I don't know, does anybody know the name Carol Huther? Carol Huther. So Carol Huther runs the Webster Arboretum, the Friends of the Webster Arboretum, essentially. It's an association. And she spoke on 25 years ago. They started this path to try to get support from the town. There was various ebbs and flows with regards to the political bodies and the minds at will. Eventually, they were given the ability, I think it was 8 years ago, right? After 18 years of effort, they were given the ability to essentially implement a plan, right? That had some guardrails and otherwise, but to operate within it. And I think the best thing that we can do is ask the residents to incorporate as a nonprofit, to create a structure that we can look to. And then for us, and have agreements with, right? And then for us to create a plan that has guardrails for them to operate within. And then coordinate that with the DPW, depending on the actions that might need to be taken, the degree by which you can or cannot offer and facilitate time, if we need to do it separately. So the challenge, right? The challenge is from a planning perspective, how complicated a process does this really need to be, right? We have 13 acres of parkland now. There's trails, assuming we're not putting more trails in, assuming we're not radically changing the landscape aside from the vernal ponds, which we individually approve. Assuming that we're not structurally doing anything beyond signage and a few other things. To me, it feels like these are things that we don't need to persistently grant authority to do. And if we have an agreement in place with a nonprofit, like I just discussed, these things can operate relatively autonomous. It happens all over the state, and I think we can work toward it. I do have a draft partnership agreement that talks about parties' purpose, scope of responsibilities, limits of authority, coordination, oversight, insurance and liability, and the rights to terminate, right? But those are my thoughts. I think we should work towards that. It requires steps on our end with regards to planning. It requires steps on the resident group with regards to incorporation and organizational structure. And I'll stop at that.
Okay. Everything you said, I think is great. And we have two liaisons sitting here for the Arboretum. And I think you have just expressed exactly the next steps. And I think the way to go would be for the liaisons to meet with the groups that have been working so diligently in the Arboretum and come back with that game plan. And it looks like you've gotten some bits and pieces there together.
Yep.
I think you should, if you can forward that so the board can see that as well.
It's just sort of individual notes.
Would that be fantastic, though? I think it just kind of gives everybody a starting point, so we know when you guys are sort of all working together, you're gonna come up with something that's kind of a little more cohesive and bring it back to the board. And also, I think, our attorney would like to see it if you have some kind of a draft of a plan,
Yes.
I think it's at least a starting point. Because you're right, we've never had, the big site plan, we've never had sort of that big overview, that big picture of what will this look like. I think finally now, 4.5 years in, we have this opportunity. So, and we have two, liaisons that can really help pull that together, bring it back to the board. So I think that would be absolutely the next step, Any other thoughts?
I
Yeah,
just,
Lisa.
for Jeff, is there anything legally that we need to?
Yeah, I hate doing new work. I get a hold of Webster and see what their agreements look like.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, that Arboretum's been around a long time. Yeah.
So it is a unique, let's say, I think that we can have a better structure in place.
at least a place to start.
But
They've been doing it though.
So
Find one that you like better.
that's correct.
Yeah, just do the research,
Yeah.
maybe take a look.
Find one you like better and we'll
Yeah.
So this is my ask.
use it as a guide.
This is my act of the board, or my ask of the board, and maybe, Mayor, you might just simply say, for Lisa and I as liaisons to come up with an initial draft before we do any additional work. But, right now we have a public park that doesn't have a plan. We don't need a significant plan. It can be on a one-page document. Maintain trails as currently outlined, right? Do certain things.
So you're looking at a maintenance plan when you say a plan.
Yeah, and it could include some aspirational goals that
Mhm.
could be things like benches. It could be things like pavilion, maybe not a pavilion, overlooks, right? Things where, remember when we cut down the Atlantis, we now have 8-foot tall weeds. So
Mhm.
different things.
Mhm.
If we embed that in a plan,
Mhm.
then what we can do, or what we wouldn't necessarily do, but this would be then on the resident group, they can actually fundraise for these things if we're not otherwise going to fund the project, but they're already embedded in that. So I guess my question is, to what degree, beyond just a maintenance plan,
Mm.
do we want to have in a fairly simple, here's our game plan, here's where we're going document? Because that would be what puts governors
Mhm.
on the relationship that we have.
I understand where you're going. Any thoughts?
I'm thinking, in addition to the maintenance, you need some semblance of an operating plan. You know, more so than just maintenance. What are? We've got the maintenance items, but what else is planned? What is, you know?
Like a site plan and how it would be.
Vision.
Yeah.
Like strategically, like
Yeah.
long-term, or even 5 years.
This is on us. This is on us, not the Friends Group. And so the
Mhm.
question is this on the liaison, or do we want to have dedicate some time at our next meeting to talk to 15?
I would say, let's first start with you guys working together to kind of get the basics in place.
Right.
You know, I think we're kind of, not that it's an overreach, but we'll get there. You know?
Right, and because the citizens group have been so passionate and so involved over the last 4 years, I'm sure they've got in their mind kind of where they would like to be, and then we could bring it back and talk about.
I'm fine with that.
And as we've always said too, and had these discussions on numerous occasions, it's public land.
Yeah.
At some point, you know, nice to come back with a plan, but we open it up to the entire community, make sure everybody's on the same page. Yes, Dorothea.
Real quick, we have a multi-year plan for everything else in the village, and maybe, you know, we add a workbook page that
Mhm.
says parks.
Puts it in place. Just
And
puts it
then
in
you
place.
establish your goals for that in
Right.
there. And then you already have your working documents for the village, why not put the parks in?
So what I would suggest is the long-term capital plan, what's within the long-term capital plan, it has funding. It's basically, we're gonna do this, and we've identified where the fundings would come from. I think we create a document whereby not putting it in the capital plan, nor do we put it in the aspirational plan. It is just, here's where we'd love this park to go. And then by having an
Thank you for the
association,
discussion today.
right, and then by having it connected to a nonprofit 501c3, should they be able to source capital funding, fundraising,
True.
right? Or
True.
through their labor and effort, create that space that we've identified in the plan. I don't think we want to put it in the long-term capital plan, because then all of a
That
sudden.
becomes
it's not
ours,
our fund.
and it becomes
And
ours.
what I think we're working on now is,
The delineation of. the-
Yes.
yeah,
Where
you want to do a
have
bigger
raised
capital
money.
project? Sure, that might be in the plan, but that. would be-
Understood. I think we're saying the same thing
Yeah.
differently.
Sounds good.
Okay, so David,
That makes sense what I just said, you know what I mean? I think we're all really literally on the same page on this. And I do like the idea though of looking at, you know, the near term and the longer term, and you know, all of that. But I think you have a starting point.
Great.
You know, and I think, thank you for, you know, identifying it that way too.
Yeah.
That was really great. Thank you so much. So that's the action item.
Yep.
You're gonna meet the liaisons, you're gonna,
we got it.
And we have-
We got our meeting planned already.
there you go.
Yeah, we got our meeting planned. So we're on-
Okay,
we're on.
thank you.
Thank you.
That's great. Thanks so much. Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Cargo Fest, 65 State Street, progress. Thank you, David, for putting in your words about what I have requested. And I'm asking permission to submit this to the record, this letter that I sent. And show it to you, Dorothy, for you. I don't know if my email actually got through. But anyways, somehow David got it very quickly. I do want to know about the garden. Are you the new guy? Jason?
We have,
I'm the old guy.
we have a new superintendent, and we're so pleased, Jason Cernas.
Yes, okay, nice to meet you. That garden, we're supposed to plant it on October 2nd. And and so maybe am I out of work?
Some of this could be a discussion offline
Yeah.
too, you know, just coordinating certain things,
Give
you
me
know,
your
because
card.
we have a tight schedule. Okay.
To that end, do we as a board need to approve the planting of gardens by the frog?
You already did that.
Yes, we did.
It's for garden club.
We did.
It's not a-
Yeah.
Awesome.
We approve everything because it's the village's land
That's what I
for
thought.
the
So we already-
public.
we already
And
have-
these are
Yes,
our
that's true.
good friends of the Arboretum who help us out with
Yeah,
it.
we already
And
have.
the project.
That's what I did.
Yeah. So, yeah, yes, Frank.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for all your work.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hang on, we have another question here. Excuse us. Yeah, you'll go through the office and we'll coordinate, okay? Yeah.
Don't talk to him.
You can talk behind them, right?
That's not the point, and you know that. Okay, we're still trying to conduct a meeting here. We have a question from another resident.
Frank Hackman, it's 56 Everest Drive. Actually, it's not a question.
Oh, okay.
It's a note of thanks to all of you. You know, we really think it's time after, you said after 4.5 years that we work together as a team, and this is great. So thank you very much. I'm thinking very positive.
Well,
Collaboration.
We're appreciative of all the good work. Thanks
Thank you.
again, everybody.
Thank
you.
Appreciate it. Have a great night.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you so much. All righty, let's see, where are we on these things?
Okay.
I know.
You're going to public hearing
Yeah.
or?
Yeah.
You know what, I just did the statute first, because she sat through a 3.5 hour meeting.
Yeah.
Olivia, you're here, okay. We're gonna, just before we go to the public hearing, we have on the agenda the potential acquisition of the Frederick Douglass statue. We are so delighted that we have the artist here this evening. Yeah, so do you want to just come on up and have a seat and just, let's sort of sort things out about where we are with this? And no, we just wanted to bump you up on the agenda because the last meeting you were there for a very long time.
I know.
I know.
I came late.
No, it's all, it's all
Like,
from,
oh, number 11.
no, I know, no, all good, all good.
Your first meeting was the longest.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So, again, this is, just to let folks know, this is an opportunity for us to have one of the beautiful Frederick Douglass statues in our community. We do have, a legacy of history here in our community, tied to Frederick Douglass and the Underground Railroad. And so right now, we have the proposal that we can either rent the statue for a year, or purchase it or rent and then put it towards purchasing, if I'm understanding.
Correct.
You know, we all have the information in front of us. I just wanted the public to understand what that would look like. I'm excited about it. First of all, I'm a big believer in public art. I think art really creates connection in the community and creates discussion. So I'm a fan of this, just saying it right up front. I think it would be really great to have it potentially along Shane Place, because it's a highly activated area, not only for residents and people who live in the region, but for tourists, for people who visit the area. And it's another layer of our history and a layer of telling the story. So, just putting it out there. So I just, would like us to discuss, how do we want to proceed? Do we want to proceed? I'm saying I'd love to proceed in some fashion, whether we rent and then maybe, work with the community to raise additional funding to purchase, which I think would be nice. Because I think, when you have something from the grassroots in your community to purchase something like this, again, it creates another layer of connection, and we're all stakeholders and we all sort of buy in literally to that piece of history and telling the story. So.
Olivia, how many statues
Oh,
are?
I was gonna recognize David.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, and then I'll recognize you.
I think we might have the same question. I know when you came in before, you had mentioned that this would be the first statue to be outside of the city of Rochester. Is that still true?
That is true.
Okay, okay, so we would be the very first to actually have one. that
Actually, yes.
Is in the downtown area.
Mhm. Yep, that's true.
And how many are downtown now, or how many are in the city?
Yeah.
17. Well, 16. Yours would be the 17th.
Oh, and then we're the 17th. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Any other?
Do we have an idea of where we would place this? I mean, you said Shane Place
I would love to
area,
see it
and,
down
and where, like.
I don't know. We'd have to sort it out. That's part of the discussion. Maybe not tonight, but we could all take looks and figure out where would be the best and most appropriate.
So is tonight
Place it.
primarily just to discuss whether we want to do it or not?
Yeah.
And then if we decide we do want to do it, then we have to discuss where.
And if we
Okay.
want to do it, how do we want to do it? Do we want to buy the statue outright? Do we just want to rent it for 1 year? Do we want to rent it with the option of purchasing? I personally would like to rent it and work with have the community hopefully step up and help us to raise some additional funding anyway to purchase it. I think it'd be wonderful to have it here permanently. Yeah, Dave.
There was once talk of bronze, was it, not the fiberglass? Or,
So I feel strange giving everyone my back. I'll just.
Just hang, you can
Yeah.
hang out with Jeff. He doesn't bite often.
Very soft.
Yeah, very soft.
But I'll just tell you anything.
Yeah.
The Douglas statues were made originally fiberglass. They're part of the 2018 bicentennial celebration that occurred in Rochester. And what happened is that, I made 17. The city has purchased 10. Some have gone to University of Rochester, RITs and such. And what it is that coming up in 2026, July 4th, it's gonna be the 250th, was it semi-quincentennial celebration?
Semi-sesquicentennial. It took a while, but I learned it.
You can throw a Sasquatch in there, whatever.
Yeah, you could probably.
Yeah,
fluff
so,
through it.
there's a great celebration, and with this Douglas project, we've created the Freedom Is, I apologize, I didn't bring it, but a creativity sheet. And part is to help, bring all the sides together and, give people an opportunity to express their own, what makes them feel free. So it's a sheet that says Freedom Is,
Oh, I love
and it's
it.
Frederick Douglass on it, and it's to help kind of, remind people that everybody has been butting heads politically, but at the heart, everybody actually knows what freedom is, and it's just a matter of, tweaking details together and, coming together. So, it's a nonpartisan thing. And the point is to emphasize creativity. So I'll be working with one of the librarians at the Pittsburgh Library to present the project to the public, and also this creativity contest. There are other schools as well. I've been a little bit lax. I wanted to see what would happen first here. And then I was gonna contact the schools in Pittsburgh, in the Pittsburgh area. Because I know that there have been programs on Frederick Douglass, but I thought it'd be interesting to talk about, to emphasize how this sculpture project ties to the pursuit of happiness, which is in the preamble of the Declaration of Independence. That to be creative, to express oneself is part of profound spiritual happiness. And just kind of bring all these things together. So it's not a political attack, because I think that everybody's been going nutty. It's okay if you wanna go nutty, that's okay, but I
You have
wanna,
the right to do so.
but the tendency of this project has been to bring all sides together. All various sides, bring everybody together, get everybody working, and find, creative solutions.
Yeah. Thank you for
So
that.
that's part of it,
Yeah.
there's an education.
And then I know, and this came before the board not too long ago, was it last year, about the state is putting in the Underground Railroad, the Harriet Tubman Trail. And it's coming through the village, so we have an opportunity, I think, to really, build on this and tie this in.
Beyond
Yes,
the celebration.
yes, exactly,
That's great.
so it'll be longer term, which I think is fabulous, so, yeah. Dave.
so if I could circle back, there are no bronze, just,
So there is a bronze.
there is a bronze.
It's at the Rochester Frederick Douglass Airport.
And there's just one, and
There's just
you're not
one.
doing any new ones, it's just the.
That's a different, I could be commissioned to do it, but it's a different,
You
yeah.
want the bronze?
Is that a $50,000 opportunity?
It's more than that. It was actually.
Let's stay with
It's
fiberglass. I like the fiberglass.
$120,000. It cost me over 50,000 just to produce it.
I can only imagine.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a big,
That's
it's a big
strong,
commitment, yeah.
nonprofit support.
And that's why it's at the airport, thank you.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's actually surprising if you crunch the numbers, if people just, gave $5, you could raise that money very quickly. So it's, whatever.
It-
I'm not gonna tell people what to do, but.
Well, as a municipality,
That is-
we can't solicit money that way. We would hopefully have organizations within our community who would be interested in supporting something like
I
that.
have the help.
Thank you.
Because
You're gonna hop on it. Okay, I had to say it's
That's kind of the way I'd like to head. Rather than us purchasing it, I'd prefer to see the community come together and say, hey, we want community art, we're gonna support this, and we're gonna contribute towards the purchase price.
Well, I think, just to dovetail with that, I think if we at least upfront say we'd like to rent it, it gets it kind of going and makes it visible with other organizations then seeing that, let's keep this in our community. Let's make this a permanent installation. So I do think we're gonna have to kick in something, and I'd rather just get the ball rolling in terms of at least that upfront.
The village can be the anchor investor in this.
Yes, thank you. See, he has all the language, the anchor investment. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you think, understood. As long as we don't have a bunch of names and logos, it's fine, I think that's. Anyway, so here's my thoughts on this. And I just did this, I did it earlier, I think generally, but we've had challenging years in the past with regards to race relations in Pittsburgh and the town and the village, and some will deny it, but I think it's denial. And, we don't need to get into all the different weeds of it, but there's certainly been instances where I believe that there are people of color in our community who have felt disenfranchised by the direction of those in power to address concerns that are evident. In a small way, the village supporting an installation of a Frederick Douglass statue, be it on a rental basis, addresses that on a level that I believe by saying yes to that, I'm representing people who want to heal and move forward rather than reflect on the past and dig in trenches.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
And then only, again, to piggyback off of what Dave said, I mean, look, I'm one of the few people of color. I think I might be one of the only, I walk around, I never see black people. So I'm one of those few people. This is huge to me, right? I have kids that I would love to be able to see this and understand the history of how Frederick Douglass is important, not only to Rochester, but with the Underground Railroad here in Pittsburgh. To be able to have that, yeah, I mean, it's our history. And, I love it. It is one of those things where it's able to kind of bring everyone together, bring awareness, just to our history and what we bring to the table as this village. So I love it. Again, I think kind of the option 3, where we kind of kick in the initial amount for the rental, and then we work with the community as we kind of go through that next year to get the remainder would be awesome.
Oh, I think we fundraise that money. I know our community.
Worst comes worst,
Step up.
I'll write it.
Well, I love the idea of the engagement with our community. I think that's crucial. Yeah.
Can we, so let's say we move forward with the rental or a portion of it. How does the financial end of the community fundraising element of it work? Do you have to create a separate line item basically on the financial
Like the
statement?
Arboretum. It's what we
It's
did.
just like the Arboretum,
Yeah.
it's a donation.
So anything that you can accept or not accept.
Yeah.
That's right. And so we just, that was the item. And so if there's any funding left, it just sits in that account until it's used, but in this case, it's a finite amount that's.
I think it would be a definitive amount.
Yeah, so this is a definitive amount.
Unless we need a little extra for some type of maintenance or something, just in case. I don't know. I mean, do you have any thoughts?
Well, the thing with fiberglass, it does have to get revarnished.
Oh,
The
okay.
sun is brutal. So
Yeah.
you know how people revarnish their boats?
Yeah, I was just thinking.
It's actually similar case.
So even if we have a little bit more, now we have a little bit, of a reserve. Or,
just
in other words,
collect in the
to make sure
I
that,
think you would just
We can
go
do that.
ahead and fund.
We can
yeah,
do that ourselves.
That is,
Yeah.
do benches or anything.
You need a sandblaster, so I'd have to talk to a maintenance person.
So you have to
Sandblast.
sandblast and then.
Yeah, I finally sandblasted it and then revarnished.
this is like what?
Otherwise, there's elbow grease.
Understand, we-
And I would drive,
Yeah,
Are you?
we're getting in the weeds here. We're getting a little in the weeds. We can sort out sandblasting later. But we know that it does need maintenance. We know we should have to anticipate that if we are to go forward with this.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I'm interested in the rentals and the purchase. I think you've mentioned that. Anybody else want to weigh in on that? Yeah.
Just to throw an idea, to the degree that there's consideration, I know, John, you'd reference this being a community funded opportunity. And you may, I don't want to presuppose how you feel, but the idea of putting 5,000 up to do it with regards to lots of additional costs that have recently been incurred around, the village hall, et cetera, that are somewhat surprising to the budget. That being said, yes, we could possibly do 2,500 and then look to raise 2,500 from the community. And if we hit that goal, then we do it and we move forward. I think that's going to be, I hate to say this, it feels a little like, if we're going to ask for 10, let's not ask for another 2,500. Let's just do the 5. And then if we want it to be permanent, then the community raises 10.
Yeah.
But we're in for a third, they're in for 2/3.
Yeah, I
And-
hear you.
And I'm hopeful, based on the location of where we have Centennial coming up. Can we install it prior to that or no? Like how
Oh,
quickly?
yes,
is
this person here is working on it
Ready to go?
right now.
Ready to go.
I'm hoping that within a week and a half, I can get the whole thing done.
Okay, so it's more about location than it is about
I
time.
started, yeah, I already started working on it.
Oh,
So
wow.
whether if it's,
So let's talk to our treasurer. We have $5,000?
I can still $5,000. We have contingency, we have money in
Yeah.
works.
I know we do.
That's not an amount I'm concerned.
Okay, so essentially, I'm thinking it's almost like, what'd you say, the anchor investor, the seed money?
What's our total budget?
Yeah.
2.1 mil.
Right, so it's a rounding error.
Yeah, that's true. Our budget's 2.1 mil thousand.
Truly
Okay.
de minimis.
We can't have a
Okay.
rounding.
No, I know. Yeah.
Here's my thought, different thoughts. First of all, Olivia, beautiful work, beautiful. There are 16 in the city of Rochester, which is really where Frederick Douglass has really, shined and is very well. Uh, the undergraduate in Pittsburgh that Frederick Douglass, I think, is that correct? I don't know much about my history, but I'm pretty sure that Frederick Douglass came to Pittsburgh one time in his life. If I looked at our spending in the village, like I would look at my own property with all of the money that we're spending, I would never buy art right now. That's just my own personal philosophy. I just think that it would not be financially feasible to ask taxpayers to put $5,000 to $15,000 out on a piece of art when we have all these expenses. And I just feel uncomfortable doing that.
I will say tonight in our bill pay, we will be spending $5,000 to remove invasives from the Arboretum. And that's a good thing. I see $5,000 in public art as something that, how do you quantify it? It resonates in a community when you have public art. And when you're taking your kids to see the statue, or you're walking back from the dairy with ice cream and you're going down, if it's on Shane Place, for example, it is a completely different experience that we've never had in this community. We don't have public art. I'm excited that we would be the first community outside of the city to say, yeah, this is something we want for our community. And I think the 5,000, great investment. This is part of our, I would say, our sort of, what do I want to say, our intellectual and spiritual infrastructure for our community. Yeah.
I can make a suggestion towards funding.
Oh, she's already finding money.
The board's been struggling with the money that we have in the gear fund, which is over $6,000. If you don't take 5,000 of the gear fund, you can donate towards the statue, and then you can take the remainder and do another.
First,
The Gear Fund's intent was to help Pittsburgh's poor. It's not for art, I'm sorry. That was the intent, the family's intent was to help Pittsburgh's poor, and it needs to stay in that arena. I feel strongly that it should. That was what the family wanted to do with it. And for us to spend it on art, there's a big difference between a drastic need and us. So just
I'm looking at the community as a whole, and it's a gift to the community, is the way I'm
for
looking at it. And
for poor in need.
I just want to let people know what the Gear Fund is. Gear is a family name, and it was established, what, 100 years ago?
yeah, early 19.
Yeah, you know, a long time ago, when this community was really quite different. And it was very much a rural and agricultural community, and there were there was a wide range of socioeconomic representation in this community. And so if there's $6,000 sort of left in this fund, and we as a board, and it was back then geared to the poorest people in the community, if there were, you know, indigent families or families that needed help. And so over the years, obviously, the community has transitioned. We're one of the wealthiest communities per capita in New York State. Certainly, we're the wealthiest in this county. So I understand the intent, I really do. I don't know, you know, if it's the Gear Fund, fine, or if you don't want to use it, fine. But again, I think it's for the community good. We just, maybe there's other ways to come up with the money.
Be clear on the legalities, and I don't, you know, I have no felt need to protect the fund or not protect the fund. When the bank turned it over to us, all of those controls were gone. That was
Yeah.
for the trustees to use as they saw fit. Whether you want to honor the original wishes of this testator, I mean, that's fine, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Where we
we
gonna
can case either way, I'm just saying, you know, I totally understand, really. what you-
Alternative too, and this puts me on the line is, I can just give you the statute for free. And you see if the community wants it. I do not want to force Frederick Douglass on anybody. No, I really don't. I'm so.
I never thought I'd hear that line in my life.
People being so angry and feeling like they've been raped, okay? I'm tired of it. This guy brought people together.
Yeah.
And he constantly wrote his autobiography, said, this thing of dividing groups is the tactic of the slave master. And I don't feel like doing that.
Yeah.
I don't want to force, you know, there are people who are for BLM, against it. I do not care. As far as I'm concerned, we are a family.
Thank
We
you.
all come from the same source.
Yeah.
I don't care what political party. And I absolutely understand people are really sore about money. So I don't care about that. This thing should be heartfelt.
Mhm.
I mean, really, forget politics, forget any of that stuff. It has to come from the people, and I have no problem finishing this guy. I love him. He's gonna come out beautiful. It's gonna be so beautiful. You want, we can find a location.
Mhm.
And there's a little label on the bottom, and typically it has a QR code on it, and it leads to the not-for-profit.
Mhm.
Who originally spearheaded this entire project, because we're actually trying to raise funds to make other statues for the airport. But what we can do is, we can put a QR code or 2 QR codes that inform people, and obviously I can, you know, present at the library, do these various presentations at the schools. Present it that way, do it in a passive
Thank you.
friendly way, because I think everyone's like,
Understood.
you know, they're tired of getting.
Olivia,
hammered,
thank you
know?
so much. I want to,
Fine.
I so appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. I want to bring it back to the board now,
Sure.
just to fully finish out our discussion. I know Dave, Marshall, you wanted to say something, and then David?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
just gonna comment that I agree the Gear Fund should stay as close as we can to the goals of the assessment. I appreciate the thought. It's a good one, and the flexibility, but for me, I'd rather have it go as close as we can to helping the poor, whether or not it's feeding or sheltering or whatever that may be, offering services for transportation and that sort of thing. With regards to your offer, very thoughtful. I think I'm comfortable spending the money. Because similarly, as it is with spending money on the Arboretum or spending money on maintenance of beautification across our community year in, year out, and the labor that's associated with it, all of this is a opportunity for us to engage in our community in a way that gives a sense of pride, but also a sense of like just beauty and resolve. There are a few things that we do where we extend out an attempt of understanding to a broader regional community. And I think something like this, while Frederick Douglass didn't have as deep a roots in the community as he had in Rochester, there was a time that he was at the hotel and it was a unique situation. But more importantly, to your point, it is an outreach. It's an understanding. I can't word it anywhere nearly as good as others, but I think it's important. And so in this regard, while it may not be in agreement with all residents, I'm comfortable getting it done and still supporting the artist who did the work.
Okay, yes, David.
Oh, have you run into any vandalism issues with the existing statues in Rochester? Because the fear that I have would be, based off of certain, how should I put it, extremist
There
signs that
I
are,
have a beautiful answer.
okay.
Go
'Cause I'm
ahead.
just-
You can,
I'm
you
just
can
gonna-
finish what you're saying,
Well, I'm
but
just-
I got the best answer for you.
So I'm trying to figure, because again, like I'm always cognizant of, potential
That doesn't mean you don't do it though.
stuff being, put on to things and, tagging a statue or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I'm just trying to figure out if that's happened in the past and kind of what our plan would be as a board to be able to address that if somebody came
Can I-
through and
Yeah,
spray painted a symbol on there. or
yeah,
something.
why don't we, okay, before you, Olivia, you wanted to say something and then Jason.
Okay, so I can't read it to you verbatim, but things have changed. So this whole statue thing has become a national discussion where there were statues all across, from California, New York State, all over the US being vandalized, they're taken down.
Mhm.
And even saints, it's like, what the heck? So if you vandalize a statue, you get 10 years in jail. That's the new, that's the new change. You get thrown in the slammer, baby. So that's my answer for you. They can try to do something, but they go to jail. So the last time people tried to create a scene was the July 5th vandalization.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be hard to find anyone, paid or unpaid, to do something like that, if they know they got 10 years in the slammer.
Oh,
So-
okay, thank you for that. And then Jason, you had a comment.
so mine comes down to, it's not about vandalizing for the wrong reasons. It's about having patrons that are college age, that are just out to cause destruction and do damage to things just because they're being dumb and they're being stupid. It has nothing to do with ill intent for politics or anything like that. The location in which we put this will probably dictate how it is treated.
Mhm.
Putting it along Shady Place, I would not advise, only because we have benches that weigh upwards of 200 pounds that are thrown into the canal just because.
Oh, that's interesting.
That are bolted to the ground. They rip the anchors out, they smash these things, they jump on them. It's a constant battle along this corridor down there to thwart vandalism. They jump on trees, they break branches off trees, they vandalize our flower pots. Last year, they took one onto the canal bank, we had to replant it. So it's a beautiful pot, it's a beautiful thing that, so my concern isn't that they're doing it for the wrong reasons, they're just doing it because they don't care, they're just out to cause trouble, and it happens. I'm not saying everyone's bad, but I've seen it enough in certain areas of the village to know that certain things will be an object of attention.
That's how serious that, thank you for that. I had no
And
idea.
it's been a battle, and we try the best we can with it, and obviously, my thought is, how do we?
I want to get with you afterwards. I want to talk about that and tracking that. Okay,
Mayor,
yeah.
may I? Olivia, I love what you had said about, it's not about the statue, it's about bringing people together, and that your generous offer of putting the statue up and having people scan makes me feel better, because then it's not me making the decision for our community, because it, like you said, our world is in a weird place right now. We are at each other's throat, and I'm afraid to get political, and unfortunately, some people are gonna look at that politically. So I would love to see the community embrace that. The community say, yes, we want that. I wanna, I wanna give $5, I wanna give $10, I want this to be here. I would feel more comfortable having it there if the community spoke their voice.
I'd like to say something. For years, it was controversial about putting the gay pride flag up in our village. And then when I took office, we hung the gay pride flag. Not everybody liked it. But I really felt, and I know the rest of the board members, for the most part, felt, if you're an elected official, you take a stand. You put it out there in your community that we want to include everybody. We want to embrace all of our history. That's at least how I feel. And I think by saying we're going to put in $5,000 because this government says we support all of our history, not just pieces of it. And this is a part of our history. Maybe it shouldn't go in Shane Place. I didn't realize, but we can sort that out. No, but we can sort that out. It can be solved. This is solvable. And I think this is a moment. We have a wonderful artist. This is something that's actually iconic in our city and in our community. And we have an opportunity. I see this as an opportunity. The politics, I'm not in charge of other people's feelings. I'm not. But I am in charge with everybody else here at this table of how we present our village government to the rest of the world. And I think this is a wonderful statement, a positive statement to make. So I'm going to make a motion that we spend the $5,000 to rent. And hopefully we'll have other organizations to get that community engaged and get people involved to support the purchase of the statue.
Second.
We have a second on the motion.
Discussion,
Discussion back to the table, please. Yeah.
can we do, I know the QR code has utility. I tend to like it without. Does it really matter one way or the other?
Oh, all up to you.
Yeah, I mean, in other words, we'll be taking I see where you're going with that, but we can sort that. We have, is there additional discussion about the motion?
So I think also I'd like to know, I think that placement is really important for us to buy something and not know where it's gonna go. I don't.
I think that can be solved. I mean, how many times have you bought something and go, I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I love it. We can solve that. I think it's solvable in the village and we can take a look and bring it back to the board. Olivia, I know you'll have some ideas as well. And I know Kevin Beckert, who has brought this also to the board, has supported that and would like to help out with that. I think that this is an opportunity. We can find a place to tell the story of our history.
We could amend the motion that just says contingent upon finding an acceptable location.
If you want, but I don't want to buy, I think it's solvable. There's a motion.
I would agree.
Statute.
If we can amend it based on finding an appropriate spot for it, I would be in favor of that. I mean, again.
I think we're just kicking the can.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Well, it is back to discussion for the board, but Margot, I see your hand going up and down. Yeah.
Art is not a thing for just rich people. It is for the people. And if anybody did anything for poor people, that was Frederick Douglass. So it is going to support the idea of supporting people. And as far as the location is concerned, it's the concept. And to even allow Olivia to think of giving this statue to the town is absolutely out of the question. And that she's a hard worker and she's not wealthy. And she gives her heart to the world and to people and her love. And I can't see how you could let this light come into this room and say, you can't do that. I'm sorry. I mean, I love you, Lisa. I love you. But I just want you to know that I just read a quote from Carl Jung this morning that sometimes when the light comes in, people get envious and they get mean. And I'm not, again, I'm talking about.
We're kind of, let's stick to point. We're having a discussion with the board.
Anyway,
Yes. Thank you so much for your input. No, appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah, I also think that based on finding the appropriate location it should be in there.
Can we amend it?
So, that's interesting, that this amendment, I find this really interesting. I do. What if we can never agree on a location? What happens then? we're either in or we're not. We're either saying we support this project or not,
that tough, guys.
you know, yeah.
Just trying to bring everybody along.
Indoors, you can put in the.
What I'm saying, we're all on the same page here. It's solvable. Okay, everybody, it's solvable. It's solvable. The motion before us tonight is, do we want to put the money towards ultimately purchasing the statue with the community engagement? Do we want to do this as elected officials? I have a motion, we've had a discussion, roll call.
So we're
Further discussion.
discussion.
I am not comfortable amending, I'm still, okay, more discussion. I think everybody has made their opinions clear. We have a motion.
My further comment is, the interest in the motion was to bring a unanimous conclusion to a motion that was otherwise going to be passed. That's all. I was gonna say yes. I brought it forward to bring everybody along. We're gonna find a location. I don't think anybody's afraid of that.
Well, then why do we need
Then why do we need the amendment? Why do we need the
Because it would
amendment?
be
We
nice
want-
to have a unanimous decision on this. That's
Well,
all.
everything,
That's-
it's not-
to be unanimous.
I agree with you.
Let's move
It's
on.
Just,
I think it's nice to have,
it's a goodwill moment for me.
So one more question real quick.
wow.
So when we decide where we're gonna put it, does that have to go to a vote as well?
No, I think you just.
I mean, how do we decide where we're putting it? Does that have to come to the board for a vote?
Well, I would think we would want the board to know where the statue's gonna go.
No, does the board make a
Yes,
decision?
yes.
Going?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to make a decision.
Okay.
Okay.
So
All
here
right,
we-
that-
it's
So that makes
cyclical.
it different. Okay,
Okay.
that makes it
I mean,
different.
it's just cyclical.
So-
So the board does have to decide where it goes.
But understand
Okay.
that we would bring it back to the board anyway without the amendment. That's the whole point. That was actually
You've
said.
got to understand
Excuse me
that
one second,
having
I'm still
questions is
speaking.
part of this.
Still
board's,
speaking,
obligation.
I'd like to finish my sentence. Thank you so much, John, for that, your patience with me. I said early on, we'll sort out the location because, Jason brought up some concern. We'll sort that out. Yes, John, please finish your
I'm done.
thought.
I'm done.
Okay, well, I didn't hear it because I was talked over, so. Anyway, we have, yes, more discussion.
Question for the attorney, with regards to.
Come on, you gotta get in here.
That is important.
You thought you were.
With regards to the location eventually selected, would it come back before the board whether or not that amendment is included in the motion?
What?
So if we approve your motion without the location being
We're
determined.
gonna bring back the location anyway.
Asking Jeff.
The answer is yes, but it's no longer a condition of rental.
But the location itself would still come back before the board. It's not something that would
Yes.
be determined
Sure.
internally or not.
So it doesn't have to be in the motion.
We are purchasing something on behalf with taxpayer funds, on behalf of the community, a piece of public art. So we're responsible for where it goes, how it's maintained. It's the oversight of something that is now going to be part of our community. Regardless,
So.
we don't need an amendment.
But the rental is no longer a condition.
Exactly.
So it's an absolute rental. But as you point out, it should be the subject of an agreement by the board, and the only way to do that is by motion.
Okay,
Mhm.
so to all of us, where it gets placed is coming back before us, no matter what.
Anyways, okay,
See, now we know.
Is it still open for the board?
for discussion.
Yeah, keep on going.
Well, no, I'm gonna say,
Move it too.
Hang on, excuse me, Olivia, it's back to the board. Okay,
Okay.
thank you so much. Just give us a minute here, please. It's just back to the board for our discussion. Thanks so much.
I just think for me personally, the fact that this took, we've been talking about this for, I don't know how long.
An hour.
It's really sad for me. Like, it's one of those moments that makes me kind of choke up a bit in the sense that $5,000 is, we spend that on cleaning up plants and garbage cans and stuff like that. And, as a Black guy in America, it's already tough enough to see how this is I'm often alone. And I get, people don't have that view and, they can feel like I'm on a pedestal or say, oh, it's always about race. It is sometimes when you're forced to live. So it's just kind of sad that we have to do this, but.
And we just spent this past year, $6,000 on new trash cans, speaking of that. So when let's get a perspective here.
So can I also make a statement, David? I appreciate that. And I agree with you. We have spent an hour on this, going back and forth between 5 of us. So I'm saying when this goes up, it's not gonna be going up where everybody's gonna be happy about it. And that's my concern, is that we're spending taxpayer money. And art is, it represents, and if we're struggling with 5 of us, I'm afraid that when it goes up, many of the community may struggle as well. So I'm trying to play devil's advocate here, because I don't want to forget about, other people that may not find this piece of art something that resonates for them. So I just want to make sure that we are appreciative. Like I said, an hour of just us 5. So, that's.
Okay.
Lisa, we have residents who will argue over what type of tree we planted. You're never gonna please everybody.
Oh, I know.
And I think this is an opportunity and a moment. Is there any additional discussion, because we do have a motion?
In
No,
a second.
we had a side, no, that's why it's back for discussion. Okay, so roll call, please.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Based on the fact that we will have the ability to vote and place it. Aye.
Trustee Lindbeck.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye,
Motion.
we have a unanimous vote. Thank you so much,
Thanks, Olivia.
Olivia.
Thank
Oh,
you.
my gosh,
That would
We
be
are
us.
so excited.
It's great, huh?
I just have. Or some.
Aw.
Used to this, I'm used to being alone.
Well, we're with you, we're excited.
But I appreciate all of your support.
Thank you, Olivia.
Thank all of you, so.
Well, thank you
that-
so
that
much.
all 5 of you could.
And thanks to Kevin
do so I
Becker, Kevin
appreciate it.
zoomed in. And Marco,
I'm
thank
sorry
you
about the
for your.
details.
Yeah.
Marco, where you going?
This,
Where you going?
We can't get in the.
you can actually move them. That's what's actually nice.
Oh, it's portable,
So
okay.
that's what's really nice about it.
Okay.
Because it's fiberglass, it's gonna have concrete and steel in the base to weigh it down.
Yeah,
Make it really solid.
but it's not super,
But you can actually move it around, so if you don't like a location, you can move, or even for an event, special event, you can move it then. So that's.
Okay.
that's
Thank you.
part of the fun of it.
so we'll be connecting with you and also with our DPW, and we'll start helping us with locations to bring back to the board, okay?
Okay.
All right, okay, so we'll be in touch. Okay, thanks so much, really appreciate it.
Caroline.
4.
Okay, next up. Yes, a public hearing for the, to amend the local law on lighted village signage. Okay, we have. Oh, Sue's done. Okay, any comments from the board on this?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay, is there a motion to open the public hearing? Because I know people are here.
Open the public hearing.
I second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Lindbeck.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion
The
passes.
public hearing is now open. Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak on this matter? Yeah, we're up. I'm going. Thanks for waiting. It's kind of a lot going on today.
Past perfect.
Yeah, mine
Me
too.
too, yeah,
Mine too.
and definitely Jason's.
I'm gonna sit, if that's okay.
Please
So a
do.
little Virgo.
Hmm.
I'm Bonnie Miguel. I own Notion at 50 State Street, here in Pittsburgh. I actually wrote my little thing so that I didn't forget. My name is Bonnie Miguel and I'm the owner of Notion down in Northville Common. First, I want to thank you all for the work you do to preserve the beauty and historic charm of our village in Pittsburgh. I truly respect what you're trying to accomplish. I've spent over 40 years in advertising, design, and marketing. And there's one thing I've learned, it's sometimes success hinges on the smallest, simplest details. In the case of Notion, and many of my neighbors in Northfield Common, it's our 12-inch open sign. In the summer, when my front door is open, people naturally wander in. But during the rest of the year, that little life makes all the difference. Customers literally look down from the bridge to see if my sign is on before they decide whether to visit. If it's lit, they'll find parking and come in. If it's not, they assume we're closed and they continue on their way. I've seen it happen time and time again. Northfield Common is
a uniquely challenging business location. Our buildings are darker, foot traffic is limited, and parking can be tough. We don't have the same natural visibility that Main Street does, which means we need every possible tool to let people know we're here and open. Without that, sales are lost, and for small businesses, every lost sale matters. And if we don't survive, the loss of tax dollars will ultimately hurt your effort to maintain our village. I want to emphasize, this isn't about neon or flashing lights. It's about a small, tasteful, functional sign that communicates the most basic message: we're open. It's not an aesthetic distraction, but it's a lifeline. With that in mind, I'd like to propose that Northfield Common businesses be considered for a narrow exemption to the lighted signage rule, specifically for modest interior-facing open signs. This would help us survive while still respecting the historic integrity of our village. Thank you for your consideration, and I support both the heritage and the future of Pittsburgh.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Thank you, and thanks for taking the time to put that together too. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I'm Bonnie's neighbor, so.
Come on up, hi.
I'm less formal than Bonnie. I brought a picture of my sign.
Please state your name
Oh,
and everything, yeah. please.
Lisa. I own Dolce. I'm making cupcakes for you soon. So I brought a picture of my sign. It's a really tasteful sign. I don't know if anybody wants to see it. It's just white. But some of the biggest comments I get when people come in my shop are, oh, it's such a good thing you had your sign. I would have never known you were down here. I would have never known you were open. It's very challenging down there. The parking is taken by people on the canal, so there's no parking for our customers. So, and people, you're a walking town, which is wonderful. People walk all the time. They walk right by us. So having Bonnie's sign and my sign and all of our signs, and we're two of the signs that really kept people's attention because we're right down that opening. And I understand that wanting, like, you know, all different colors. Mine is white. Like, we could all have white signs. It could be very classy, very tasteful, but people don't know it. And I can't, Bonnie can open her door in the summer. I can't open my door ever. It's a heavy, big door. I can't open it when I'm baking. Flies come in, even when I keep the door closed. So that sign, that open sign is my lifeline. People do not know we're open. People don't even know there's retail down there. People will come in and they'll say, oh my God, I've lived in Pittsburgh for 30 years. And I didn't know you guys were down here. So, you know, we really struggle down in that area. We're always working together as business owners to try to figure out ways to let people know we're down there. So it's gonna hurt to lose that. I haven't had the sign long. I actually got it after Bonnie got hers and it's made a huge difference. So I like Bonnie's idea of like, this little valley down there, you know? So I would really appreciate being able to keep it. So if anybody wants to see my sign,
I've seen it.
it's just white and small, but it's bright enough that you can see it from the top, so. I would hate to have to get rid of it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks so much for your input. Appreciate that. Yeah. Come on up. How you doing?
Thanks. Good, how you guys doing?
Good, good.
Dave McGee, 28 Washington Ave. A couple of comments. One, it just came up because of how the meeting went. Public hearing on an agenda is, you know, that's really the one explicit invitation to the public to come to a meeting and comment. If I had known when it says on here, public hearing, and it's listed as number 4, and it also says right on there, 6 p.m. I wouldn't have skipped dinner. I would have eaten and then come if I knew it was gonna be around 8 o'clock.
I'd like to speak to
So,
that.
well, if I could finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but,
yeah.
or maybe our attorney
Because
can
I
speak
think
to that as
I
well.
think it's good to remind you guys, you want more public interaction. So when you have public comment as an agenda item, I would recommend doing that first. You guys get paid to be here. I know you're not getting rich off it. I don't get paid anything to sit here for 2 hours until I can make a comment. So that's a suggestion.
You know, appreciate your input. When you're finished with
No,
your,
go ahead.
when you're finished with your comment on the agenda item, I'd like our attorney to speak to a public hearing and what that means when it's noticed. You know, would you like to speak to the public hearing
Yeah,
item
that's fine. So,
as well, the signage?
yeah, I'm gonna speak to the
Oh,
actual
okay,
item
I
itself.
just, thank you.
All I need to hear is 2 of our business owners say that this is a potential negative effect to them, for me to say, what are we even thinking about? It's hard enough for us to keep businesses in business in this village. We're always trying to attract more in our vacancies. I'd be curious, maybe it was brought up in a previous meeting, I'd be curious, what is the catalyst for even making this change? What is the big horrible sign that all of a sudden needs a change or a modification? What is behind this suggested change? And how many of our businesses did you talk to beforehand to get their input, rather than only getting input by making them come to a meeting? If you have, and I'd be really disappointed, and I think you should let the public know, and I'll eat my words if this isn't correct, but if you didn't get input from a great number of our business owners about how it would potentially impact them before putting something forth like this, that would be egregious. So please tell me I'm wrong and you did get a lot of input. So other than that, my one last thing, when you're spending other people's money to the early, you shouldn't ever use the term it's a rounding error. Dave, you said that, and the rest of you made it like it was a flippant thing to spend $5,000. That's my money and the other residents' money. So I can say rounding error when I'm talking about my own budget. But you guys ain't, one thing, as a suggestion, separate your discussion about something of purchasing something. And if someone is challenging it or disagreeing the potential purchase, they're not necessarily saying they're against the artwork itself. You guys kind of came at it like that a little bit, so that's
Appreciate
it for
your
me.
input. That's not the item before us right now, where the public hearing is really about. the
I
sideshow.
understand. I figured since I waited
okay.
2 hours, I
I
could
know.
throw in my 2 cents.
And we
Thank you.
appreciate every 2 cents you have. Thank you.
I-
And it's not a rounding error either. Okay, I just would like our attorney to talk about when we notice a public hearing and what that means. Just, does it mean it starts at 6?
Means it shall not start before 6.
It means it shall not, excuse me 1 second, I'm running the meeting, you are not recognized, we're just having this discussion, I can recognize you in a minute. So please don't call out, if you want to speak, please raise your hand so you're recognized. Okay, 1 minute, please. So it means that the notice is that it will never start before 6, so the public knows anytime from 6 PM on is the possibility of the hearing. I also like to speak to the agenda because there were other commitments that we had, resource people that needed to chime in on certain agenda items this evening. And it is at the discretion of the board and of the mayor, that we can move items on the agenda as needed, just up or down, So there's some flexibility there. It is not the intention to have anybody just sit and wait for the public hearing. I know in other cities, we Zoom, this is streamed live. Many times, we would be at home and then we would see that they would be switching the agenda items, and then we'd see the item would come up. And we'd go down to City Hall and chime in on the public hearing. Sorry to keep you waiting. This is what happened tonight, but please understand that there's nothing untoward about it. It's just the nature of how the meeting itself is noticed for a public hearing, not before 6, sometime at 6 or after. You had your hand up, yes.
Yeah, because I know everyone is different.
Mhm.
So just knowing going forward.
Yes, yes.
And everyone's not different. That's the rule.
It's pretty standard. Things come up, there's a lot of early.
Let the board know that.
A lot of this stuff came up right before the meeting, and it says right bottom, the next scheduled meeting gives the And then it said it's subject to so, yeah, we always try to accommodate everybody. That's why we shift around. It's just, we're trying to conduct business. Yeah, that you had your hand up.
Yeah, Mayor, I don't think anybody is arguing the fact that
Mhm.
sometimes things come up
Mhm.
and you swap things around in an agenda.
Mhm.
That's pretty common. If the public hearing can be anywhere after 6 p.m., why list it at number 4? And why specifically say public hearing 6 p.m.? It's the only one that says 6 p.m.
Because it's
right?
the only public hearing, and that is part of the public
So
notice.
may I
And
make a
excuse me,
suggestion?
hang on one second. I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna ask you to hit the
No.
pause. I'm gonna
Yes.
ask you to hit the pause button for 1 minute. Please just pause. And our clerk has her hand up and she also administers these meetings. Yes.
2 parts. We have someone who wishes to speak
Okay.
to the public hearing. Second, I put the agenda together. The way I put the agenda together and the board reviews my agendas, I try to put anything with the public up front, try to get people in and out. Sometimes the agenda changes, last minute additions. Sometimes I didn't expect the artists to be here tonight. I thought we were just reviewing the money part of it, so I put it towards the end. Then we found out today, or I found out very recent, that she was gonna be here, so it had to be an amendment. It doesn't always work that way. I do my best to get people in and out, and I put 6 p.m. on the agenda, so people know it can't start before 6. The board has to know they have to get to that item after. So so I don't have to gatekeep the whole meeting for them. They know it can start at 6, not go soon.
And we're in the middle of a public hearing right now on an agenda item that's been noticed, so I'm gonna ask you to pause while we continue the hearing. When we close it out, we can take the remainder of your comment about a different item. Who wants to speak to the item, please?
I'm sorry, sir, Victor Sales, you're free to speak.
Hello? Is he muted?
I don't have a name, I just have Victor Sales.
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Oh,
we can.
Yes, your name, please.
I'm sorry. My name is Bonnie Hahn. I also have a business down in Northfield Commons. I couldn't be there tonight, but I did want to be able to share my input. I would like to, really piggyback on everything else that Bonnie and Lisa have talked about, and really just, hope that there can be an amendment made for us. My business is right next door to Bonnie's. In addition to the visibility, like we have like an awning over our porch, and it makes just seeing in the windows extremely difficult. I don't know how much you guys know about, running a small business, but it's been extremely challenging in the past year, and it just continues to get more and more challenging. And I truly do believe that taking away our open signs, our lighted open signs, would be truly detrimental. So for all businesses, not just us in Northfield Commons. So I truly do wish that you guys will consider making this amendment for us, and hopefully for everyone in the village too, if I'm being honest.
Bonnie, what's your business?
It's The Boutique, curated by UB. And then I also own Urban Beauty right on top of it. I own 2 businesses in Northfield Commons, but my storefront, The Boutique, is really what would be very, very affected.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for commenting and weighing in. Appreciate that very much. Is there anyone?
Thank you.
No.
Is there anyone? Oh, anyone else wishing to speak? I saw, yes, Maria.
You're so quietly.
Yeah. Name it after.
On Brook Drive. As far as the lights down here, those would not bother me if there was something consistently tasteful, as these ladies have really tried to do. Because it's not going to be illuminated at 9 o'clock at night. It's the street, it's the lighting along Main Street, which I have complained about the real estate office for many, many years. So you could attest to that all the way to my time on Lincoln.
that those lights are lit up all night long. It's that kind of lighting that I find intrusive in, you know, the lighted sales signs like that. I do support their idea of something that at 9 o'clock at night, or whatever time their shops close, they shut this all off for us, right? I'm not gonna say closed, it just gonna go dark. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for your input. Yeah, I do know that this amendment does address the lighting that's on Main Street.
Do we later talk about sandwich signs?
We're on this specific item right
Right,
now
right,
in a
but-
public hearing. We'll
Another.
address that. If possible, maybe. It's getting late. Okay, is there anyone else wishing to speak? Oh, yeah, you want to,
I just want
to the public hearing item?
Yes,
Okay,
I want to close the loop on the public hearing.
she hasn't.
That, again, it was just a suggestion, if we want more involvement from the public, especially in public hearing. I would recommend not getting so defensive when I just point out that the public hearing happened a lot later than I think the public anticipated. And Maria, it wasn't an attack on you and your agenda, but I don't know why we would bump an outside public member, the artist, above the public. I don't know why the public got, pushed aside for that. So, and as far as Jeff talking about, it can be a public hearing anytime after 6
You mean
p.m.
Mr. Turner?
What's that?
You mean Mr. Turner?
Mr. Turner is our
Who's Mr.
attorney.
Turner?
He's our attorney.
What are we saying? I can't call you Jeff?
I don't know you.
Just please address him as Mr. Turner if you'd like to. He's our attorney. We respect him. Yes.
Just we can talk later if you want.
Okay, so let's close this out. Let's close this out, please, and have some decorum.
To
Thank you.
close this out, that's all I was saying.
Yeah.
If you want more input, you can't get defensive when someone brings something else like that.
Just to- for-
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, David.
I think for a solution, now that you know the rules.
Yeah.
From Mr. Turner, you can zoom in, that would be helpful. That way you can eat dinner at home and
You know
still have a
what
comment.
is a good suggestion? Maybe put those rules in the agenda on the public hearing item.
That's a great
So we
idea.
know what
I think we're
those
gonna do it.
rules
I love that
are.
idea. Educating the public a little more. Thank you so much. That's great. Okay. Anyone else wishing to speak on the matter in the public hearing? Okay, is there a motion to close the hearing, please? Anybody?
Make a motion to close.
Here we go.
I second.
We're moving along.
We're all kind of tonic.
I know. That's all right. Okay, roll call.
Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Trustee Linda.
Aye.
Trustee Poe.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye. The public hearing is now closed. We bring the matter back to the board for additional discussion. And again, I want to thank everybody for their input.
I'd like to make a comment. Thank you, ladies. I truly agree with the location of Northfield Commons and that's really important for people. Like you said, walk the bridge, kind of look over to see if they're open. So I do really appreciate and like that comment and possibly, think about how we can incorporate that. Does Northfield Commons have signage up at State Street saying that there's a bunch of shops down there? Do we have signage and whatsoever? I'm just thinking for future because I know your struggle. And to me, it seems like we could have a little historic sign that says all those shops that are down there would be so helpful for you guys and,
Yeah.
The
only thing there is we're all listed on one of the side of one of the buildings, but it's dark. And
yeah, so maybe, offline, we'll maybe revisit that because I think that would really be helpful.
The other sign is terrifying because it's
Yeah.
one of the only things up on the main thoroughfare that lets people know we're down.
Lisa brings up a good point, that to look at additional solutions.
Yeah, like something.
Something a really
Yeah.
Former mayors have come into my shop and said, oh, we want to put a sign up, like up, in
Up
front
near
of,
State Street.
Yeah, something classy, something beautiful,
Yep.
and we always get so excited and then, nothing happens. But I'm
That
telling
would
you.
be with your
so-
landlord.
So many people come to my shop and literally say, I've lived in business for 30 years and I had no idea this was down here. So it would be wonderful.
The discussion about the signage, though, I believe on State Street would be your
Charlie Fox,
Charlie
right?
with your
Charlie,
landlord.
right, he would be able to.
That's his property. To work with him.
You could be, I'm sorry, I know this is supposed to be separate with you guys.
No, but you know, we're trying to sort
You can
through
be
it.
open to it, but one of us has. And it's
Mhm.
not, you know, we don't want to tell you, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. No, okay, you know, thanks, yeah, what else?
I can help. Yeah, so that's my comment.
Okay, anything?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
John?
got
Yeah.
a question for both the attorney and for the code enforcement officer. It says it can't be beamed upon a public street, highway, sidewalk, or adjacent premises. Because 50 State Street is a singular address, it's none of those. All those buildings are on one single property, so there's no public highway. They're all in a parking lot.
And
So
there's
I don't
no
know if
public
that-
sidewalk there either.
No, so I don't
There's no
know.
public sidewalk.
if
It might be excluded.
That's a
yeah.
technicality. And to the other comment,
Good one, too.
do we allow directory signs up at like where, you know,
What you were talking about.
21 is?
Yeah, if you could be allowed.
So the sign, the code does allow like a directory sign. So that would be my only question about 50 State Street because of the configuration of the property.
That's different than Shown Place, because Shown Place does have the
Those
sidewalks,
are
right, so,
individual address.
right, so those, yeah, so those would be included in this.
But it's not a public street
Right,
and it's not a
Northfield
public
Commons.
sidewalk.
Right,
When you go into Northfield Common, it is privately owned.
So I don't know what that does to the language of the.
That is good.
John, what do you worried about?
Is it Shane Place privately owned though, too?
it's not a public
Well,
walk. It's got a
We have
public
public
street.
sidewalks and public streets.
Public street.
I understand where we're trying to go with that, and I would make the argument that the term beamed upon, if you're standing on any of these things, public street, highway, sidewalk, and you're looking at a window that has lighting that is beamed upon, this is not a distance location, so either we fix it with a distance, which I'm okay with, right? So, for example, if you can see it from a street, then you're beaming upon the street, regardless of whether or not the intensity gets there or not, you're beaming it. It's light, right? It gets there. What I would argue is you could insert something within 50 feet of
The street.
public street, highway, sidewalk, adjacent properties, etc. Right? So you can do a distance thing.
Mhm. I'm just saying that the language that we've got right here kind of excludes.
I
50 State
think
Street.
it might be a
I'm
little
wait,
way.
Chad, I'm trying to,
You're not any one of those examples.
but what are you trying to control?
Allowing Northfield
I'm
Commons.
just
to
saying
the
that
light.
Northfield Commons might fall outside of this the way it's worded.
No, because it's not, the signs they're using is not legal, are not legal signs, whether it shines there or not.
So it would have to be
Any,
still an additional amendment in the code to reflect the fact that, I see where you're going, John, and I'm kind of liking
it,
this.
it says any illuminated sign shall employ only lights emanating a light of constant intensity.
An illuminated sign is one that is exteriorly, that's a word, illuminated.
Oh, that's the definition.
Yeah, you gotta go to C,
Yeah.
the next section.
Okay,
Yeah, see.
well, it doesn't say emitting because that says it's coming from the light.
Within, right.
But there may be a way to.
I'm just, like I say.
Well, yeah, it's the lights themselves that, so it's the exterior lights emitting only lights of a constant intensity.
Right.
Hmm.
Is there
Shall
a way though to
Add distance.
frame that, but yeah, maybe through, I don't know.
So going back to the Jeff's correction, I think D doesn't apply because this is an exterior light hitting a sign. From what I can tell, isn't that
Mhm.
right?
Which are allowed.
So then. Explain to me the blue and red little lit open signs that sort of go around. and sort of-
Internally lit. Oh,
that
those are.
Internally lit. That
Those
is,
Those are LED diodes.
yeah, so
Well, what are the signs that we're talking about down
Those are LED.
those are all, those are already not permitted, is that right? Sorry.
No, but they, under the current law, you cannot have a neon
lit sign or an internally lit sign, those are LED bulbs.
This is a newer technology, because that code is
So
older.
you have a simple 4-inch by 12-inch sign that says open. I, you know, whether I'm allowed to have.
We understand where
We know where you come
we're
from.
so there with you, we
So-
understand.
I just need to make sure I understand. This is addressing in. This is not addressing those signs, because those signs are already not permitted, but they're.
No, they are
They're permitted right now.
Well, they are.
Let me just, I think, let's cut to the chase, because when that code was written, there was neon.
Right.
There were no LEDs invented in the way that it was being used for signage. That's how old the code is.
I understand.
So because it is not addressed in the code, it's permitted, essentially. It is not, it's
Right,
permitted
so now we're
right now.
getting in the code.
Oh, hang on. So when we say illuminated signs, right? That's all signs, including the ones with the little LED diodes and all these other things. And so this B section, I just want to make sure I understand what we're saying is. An illuminated sign shall be defined and comply with all other requirements of code. Any illuminated sign shall employ only lights emitting a light of constant intensity. All right, fine. No other illumination shall be permitted, including but not limited to that which is interior to the sign. No.
Illuminated sign would be like you took the Budweiser thing and inside are light bulbs.
Yeah.
Which shines on the thing.
Like Hannah Real Estate, where they
Not
have the
anymore.
backlit.
Not anymore, no, not with the new code. I'm just saying, under the old code, that's what an illuminated sign references to.
Here's where I'm, yeah, probably. Here's what I'm thinking. All the signs down there, on Chun Place in the Commons, Northfield Commons.
Two
They're-
different property, you can't speak showing place.
I agree. So Northfield Commons. Those properties are pretty far from the street, pretty far from the sidewalk, right? They're tastefully done. They're of constant color. Of a design that maybe DHPP cares about, but I think not. I think you should have the ability to just put some things up that are relatively simple, of consistent color. The only reason to get the HPB involved in something like that is because it is being lit throughout the night. Maybe there's.
It isn't.
We don't have closed signs, we have open lit signs from until most of us close at 4, a couple of people are open till 5, all the lights are off by 5 o'clock.
Okay, so one of the things that we could do very easily with this code is we could add, right? Hours of operation, so on only during hours of operation, okay? We could have monochrome color if we wanted to, right? So then you don't have the blue and the red. Right, those are two additional flexibilities that we could add. Along Main Street, let's give an example. There is, and State, right, South Main and State. Let's say there is a beauty salon that is open till 9 o'clock at night, and in the winter, people are driving by and there's no way to know whether or not they're open because it's dark out at 5 o'clock. It would be nice if they're open till 6 or 7. I'm okay extending a tastefully lit sign, right? Of single monochrome color
Different case.
during just the period of operation. So, there,
No, sorry.
is that already allowed?
No,
Well,
well.
what I'm thinking, I'm sorry, and I apologize for side talking. Northfield is such a different example of the need and by virtue of how it's literally physically sited
Mhm.
in our community, as opposed to storefronts right on a public street
Mhm.
with a public sidewalk, as mentioned, as John brought up, thank you, in the code
Mhm.
right now.
Mhm.
Northfield is like its own unique little entity.
Okay.
And so when you were talking about,
Yeah, I hear where you're going.
I think
Okay.
it may be parsing a bit, but I think it's an important point.
Well,
And
then,
maybe we should table this for now, revisit it and go back and look at how we could maybe
Yes, I
do
agree.
something that,
With the Northfield County.
yeah.
So we have different signage requirements for North Main Street. It's the only place where you can allow pole sign or what do they call the signs where there's 2 posts in the ground?
Monument.
Mounted signs, you mean?
Yeah, it's the only place
Yeah,
you can have them. So it's not unusual to do something like that
Yeah,
in the code.
there's a sort of precedent in terms of what's appropriate for that specific area.
What I would suggest is just have a distance from curb, right? Distance from curb, specific to the point of entry for a business. That might allow, depending on the distance, it might allow JoJo's to have a little sign on a window, so people, depending on what that distance is, right? That's one property. It might
Yeah,
allow.
no, I see where you're going.
It might allow
Dairy.
certain properties, maybe the
Yeah.
dairy, maybe the dairy.
Just look at the
It's always
line,
that
got the
line.
sign.
You won't be able to see the line with the other lights, or the sign with the other lights.
So it's distance, maybe.
But
the
you can do a
distance.
distance from, curb.
Yeah, I mean, I think really we should table this.
Mhm.
You know, we appreciate the input and maybe direct our attorney to take a look at.
No, this is a trustee
Yeah.
issue about.
No, I know it's our issue, but I'm saying that maybe there's other codes even out there that we can take a look at. That may have something like this. That's why I'm asking you, Jeff, is, I know you probably have, you certainly have more familiarity than I do.
I think this code works with just adding the distance to curb requirement, and by the simple fact that it's less restrictive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that, but I just want to make sure we're vetting
That
it
would-
in
that
a
would
way
allow
that it doesn't create some
Northfield
other.
Commons too. Any business that's set way far back that really needs that extra push to get people in, that distance would cover it. As compared to somebody who's right alongside Main Street that you walk by, you drive by, you can see.
Yeah, because
so
Main,
that-
Main Street, you're literally
Right.
part of the streetscape on the side.
Exactly.
Northfield Common is.
And then you have state, I'm just trying to think as we go through the
State
village.
lane. That's it.
Yeah, you're still on a public street, you're
Yeah.
still on the sidewalk and stuff. So the only ones would be like JoJo's.
Maybe.
Maybe, well, again, they're not fronting a
Right.
public street and a sidewalk.
Right,
I think we just simply add a distance here.
I say distance as well.
Distance would cover, it, right?
Something to research, but, I mean, they said table, you got another whole group of items for it.
I'm so keenly aware of this, but this is important because let's just close it out. So,
So if we add distance, basically we just need somebody to give us a good distance.
well, we need to know what
You mean
distance.
a distance where you may have a consistent internally lit sound?
Yes.
Something like.
Yeah.
That's not,
Right,
no moving light, no flashing.
well, that's already there.
You can define it, takes signs of that open sign.
And which we do.
4 inches by 12 inches.
That's been covered. That's been answered. We're looking at how much distance is really what we're looking at. What does that look like?
How far away are you guys? 100 feet?
For us, the road is gotta be what, at least 100 feet.
At least 100, probably close to the 2, but if we did 100.
Yeah, but then you have, so then you have, label 7 and olives.
Yeah. They're right there.
That are
They're right there, so they can't.
They wouldn't be able to.
They wouldn't be
They
able
would be
to
able to.
distance.
Okay, but I mean, just so we're clear.
Yeah.
But just so we're clear, I'm just
Yeah,
talking this
especially-
through, so we make sure we're addressing it for everybody that's there.
In the code, you can put, like we do in the lighting section of code, you can put an example of what the sign is.
Let's do that. I think the more information is better in code anyway.
There's a size requirement already, right, Steve?
Yes.
Yeah, they are pretty much, those elephant signs, they're standard. Ones they all have are pretty much the same
Yeah.
size. So I think if you look at that, they'll say, hey, here's a sign we allow on this section.
Can you get that size to?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's what we'll do.
Figure out, and that's a max you can have, it can
Mhm.
only be a consistent blank, one color.
It's already in there.
Do we have a visual of their signs, what they look like?
Yeah.
You have it in your phone.
Oh, my phone died.
Even your phone's tired.
No, but we
I
can
just want you to email it. to me.
email it to Steve or Dorothea.
This is Dick.
Dorothea, sorry. Email it to Dorothea.
I mean, it wouldn't, no sense in it reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, totally.
Bo has the same one, you have the same one, you have the same.
There we go.
Perfect, that's even better.
Steve, absent of adding size requirements to the code that was already written tonight, are there already size requirements for lit signs that say, oh, no?
Anything displayed is different
Right,
parameters.
okay.
But it can't exceed, in our code, it can't exceed certain parameters relative to the size of the front of the facade of the building We do have restrictions in our code based on the maxing scale of the building.
But the
Am I correct?
signage within the windows.
Yeah.
And the HPB
This
reviews.
is gonna be a very, very narrow exception.
Yes.
The illuminated sign,
It's not
Because of the
gonna-
distance.
Yeah, the distance really does.
but it's gonna be
factor.
defined by distance and what the sign can look like.
Right, and size.
So why don't we
You can't
just
have it
initially
gigantic.
No, what the sign can, exactly what. the-
Okay, so are we all in at this point? We're all
Yes.
pretty clear?
Yes.
TikTok? Okay. So we need, yeah, go ahead, Dorothea.
I just need to know what the intent of the board is. Are you intending to, continue the public hearing at a later date or?
Close it.
We closed it.
Close it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go and start all over.
I know, but that's okay. Look at this is
I
the
still
good stuff.
think we
This
can-
is,
I'm sorry, can't we just vote to approve this and put the
No.
qualifications on it?
I would ask.
we have to age the change, we have to age the code.
I wanna,
And the change.
yeah, that's a different.
Even though it's less
Yeah.
restrictive.
Yeah, but it's, I wanna make sure that it's gonna require language, it's gonna require an image.
Okay. So then.
Let's do it
as a
right.
board, I make a motion to direct Jeff to do as discussed.
Second.
Great, roll call.
Trustee Marshall?
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes?
Aye.
Trustee Coe?
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck?
Aye.
Mayor Plummer?
Aye. So no, we'll do it right, we'll get it done, we'll bring it back,
We'll get distance. Let's show on distance. Yep.
and thank you.
Thank
This
you,
is
guys.
This
Great,
is-
great
I
perspective.
know it's been a long day and thank you for,
Yeah, thank you for sitting in.
all right, okay. I hope it was. Especially in sales. Okay,
Thanks, you guys.
all right.
Jeff, do they do anything with this? They did the motion, second, public hearing closed, did we need to take a vote of any kind?
Aye.
Just in the back,
Yeah,
okay.
and then we'll bring it back with the revision and the redo. I'm good. This is what you do, we're doing this.
Because we don't talk about it for hours before.
Yeah.
we talk about it.
Okay, next up, setting of a public hearing on the short-term retail business. I can't believe like the holidays are almost here. This is,
Dave gets his stuff in.
I know he does, but it
You've
just
done it
makes,
so much.
I know.
This is for the annual Christmas tree sale at the area on by Dave Jewett. I think this is year number 14.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
Anything different?
Nothing different.
Making a motion to approve as presented.
Hang on, both. I know, I'm gonna step in a bit. We have to have the date and the time of setting the public hearing.
Oh, here. Sorry.
Okay, so let's
The
ask,
date is-
why don't we ask our clerk? Ask our clerk
What
what
is
that
that?
would be.
So I kindly suggest the board hold this public hearing on September 23rd at 6 o'clock.
Anybody wanna shove that in a motion?
I will make a motion that we move the application for the tree sales and the Christmas farm there to September 23rd, no earlier than 6 o'clock.
Second.
I was gonna say, and please make it as close to 6 o'clock as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
There
Okay,
you go.
we have a motion, a second roll call, please.
Trustee Coe?
Aye.
Trustee Marshall? Trustee Marshall?
Aye.
She dozed off, you know.
Trustee Limbeck?
Aye.
Mayor Plummer?
Okay,
Motion passes.
all right, next up, the intermunicipal agreement with the town of Pittsford and the Pittsburgh Fire, actually, I think it's the Pittsburgh Fire District or the Fire District, yeah.
Well, looked at this pretty
Yeah.
carefully before.
Yeah.
The pushback that this group had was on 3B. The closing or partial closure based on as reasonably determined by the fire district. They pushed back on your pushback. So the solution, I think, is to add a new paragraph 9 that allows the municipalities to terminate on 60 days, just like the fire district. And that way,
Oh,
if things aren't going the way you want, pull the plug.
okay,
Sure.
yeah, I mean, it sounds fair.
The action item might be, if the board is predisposed, to tell me to make that change, authorize the mayor to sign it, and then we'll forward it to the other two entities.
I would make a motion to have the attorney make that change and authorize the mayor to sign it so it can be presented to the fire district.
Wow, you're good. I second.
Mhm.
Okay, we have a motion, and a second, roll call, please.
Okay, trustee Linda,
Aye.
trustee Coe,
Hi.
trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jeff, too.
Mhm.
Okay, updates from trustee Wilkes,
Okay.
bicycle and pedestrian sidewalk safety initiative.
So just an update since the August 12th meeting. Effectively, I've had a chance to work with Jeff to update the code. Section 176-23. A lot of our definitions in here were from 1997, so a lot has changed as it relates to the definition of a bicycle, the fact that electrical bicycles and scooters exist. The fact that, again, you can have a skateboard or scooter that is human powered versus electric. So a lot of this, the definitions that you see on the next page, as drafted, come from the city of Rochester's code that has recently been updated. So we know, it works, it's in accordance with New York State traffic law. So that's been a great quick addition. Also, had a chance to go on a walk on the canal path between the bridges with Jason to look at the existing stenciling, and the mayor was there as well. To look at the existing stenciling for walking bikes in that kind of that part of the canal path. As you see, I took a picture right there. The existing or the old kind of stenciling was worn, it was white, it blended in very easily, it was easy to kind of ignore. So I don't know, Jason, you want to give just a quick update on DPW with the new stenciling and paint and stuff?
Sure, so what we did was blacked out the entire width of the canal path by the height of what that sign would be, the walk your bike stencil. And then we agreed that we thought that it would be more beneficial to have alternating signs versus just all of them facing almost one direction the whole way down. It kind of was pointless. So now we have them side by side, just in opposite directions, so it's almost like two lanes. They say walk your bike, and they're still in the same locations as all the other stencils were, but now we have double the amount. We blacked them out and then used yellow, typical yellow road paint with the reflective beads. Due to the application of the paint and this being like the first paint on this, the beads don't really stick well. So we're gonna go back and touch up kind of periodically. It doesn't take a lot of time or effort or money to do this because they're so small. They're basically spray cans that we can use. So the more layers of paint we get in there, the thicker it starts to get, the better the beads will stick, and you'll start to see more reflectivity. I can say that if you catch it in the right daylight, you do notice reflectivity pretty quick. Yeah.
Jason. Looks great. Saw it, really pops, but I'll tell you, if that walkway was paved, like the South Streets paved, that would really pop. And I'm just walking and I'm thinking to myself, we've got cracks and area. Is there a way we could just pave that nice and black? I mean, those things would really pop up.
To pave it black, I mean, you'd have to tear it all up and repave it.
You would? Can't put a coat?
Not on top of that, no, it would not do well.
Well,
You'd
And
have
that's
to-
where the grant money came.
That would have
That,
to be.
yeah,
in for our
that would be a
project.
huge, that would be a huge
Which
difference.
The only thing we could do.
Seal coat it or something.
So that would be an option to look into, seal coating it.
Yeah.
It would give you that darkness to it. It would increase the longevity of that pavement, the blacktop that's there. You're talking about maybe a 5-year, lifespan. I mean, obviously that doesn't see road traffic, so it doesn't get beat up the same way that, it's foot traffic, so it's not getting the same kind of abuse that the roads get with multiple cars a day. So a feasible option would be, yes, we could seal coat moving forward. And try as
Nonetheless, it's brighter and it looks
brighter.
great. And I know you've
Yes.
gotten a lot of feedback from pedestrians, from walkers.
Yes, just in the last week.
Yes.
We've had this up, we've had a ton of compliments to it. I have noticed a couple more bicyclists have actually paid attention to it, I've seen it stopped.
Oh, good.
So they're catching themselves, is everybody adhering to it? No, but I think we've made it.
It's always, is it better?
Yeah.
You know.
It's definitely better than this was.
Just trying to get the low hanging fruit, trying
Yeah.
to do
Great.
something, so.
Perfect,
Yeah,
perfect.
okay, what, yeah, thank you. What else, Dave?
So then the next
Yeah.
thing is effectively on that same canal area, the current kind of like signage that we have right before you get to the kind of walking zone is a little bit, how should we put it, it doesn't pop in terms of letting people know, hey, you're coming up on an area that is going to be walk your bike only. So you had brought up a couple of options as relates to new signs that we could put up on the actual canal ahead of the bridges. The only thing is we need to get kind of the stamp of approval from Canal Corp since they kind of own that area. So the next step that I want to work on ahead of our next meeting is getting that application, getting that kind of started so that we can actually get some of these signs put in that can, again, I think this does a better job than the existing sign, letting people know, hey, no bikes on the sidewalk. So hopefully that's a relatively quick process of the application.
So this is just for the Shown Place area you're talking about primarily, the signage? The Shown
Yeah, this
Place,
would
same
just
place?
be.
He's just filling us in on what he had looked at on
Yeah,
Shane, am I correct?
exactly,
Yeah, because we're
exactly.
looking also at the commercial district of
Got
Maine.
it, okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next thing that I want to work on, I want to just, make sure the board is okay with me doing this, is working with Jeff to continue to incorporate aspects of the Rochester City Code into sections 176, 24 through 26. So again, cautions for sidewalk use, restrictions, prohibited sidewalk use, just to continue to add in the electric bike stop and all that new kind of verbiage in there. And that's really it in
No, I
terms
think
of
that's
next
great.
steps.
Yeah.
The only other aspect are further discussions. Obviously, enforcement is going to be the hardest aspect of, great. Yes, we need to update the code because it has to be updated. But then the next thing for consideration is how do you actually enforce it? What are the penalties? Again, what do we do if we have someone that's breaking the rules?
Let's be thinking about that, maybe do some research.
And to that point, the allocation of funding to the expense, or to the point that there will be an expense for someone potentially doing that enforcement. How did we think about the budget or the long-term plan for pedestrian safety? That is something that maybe we should talk about from a treasury standpoint of kind of what pockets of money exist for whether it's reserves or if it was contemplated for the.
And also how to address it in our upcoming budget cycle,
Yeah.
going
Or going
forward.
forward.
In other words, how do we do that going
So can I
forward?
just make a comment? So I think that the signage and just making people aware, the education is gonna be a huge impact. I don't worry too much about enforcement because I'll tell you, when I'm walking on the sidewalk and some kid's flying by and I say, excuse me, you're not supposed to ride that. He's like, well, who said? Yes, I can. It's not the law. Now, if he saw signs that say he couldn't, I don't think, I think it would be better. Maybe not perfect, right? So I think that maybe if we start with just signage, let people like, hey, look, you're not supposed to do that. And see if there's a problem. And if there is, then we'll have to talk about enforcement. But right now, I think signage is gonna do huge.
Well, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like as long as we can point to the fact that the code has now been updated.
Right.
These are the rules.
These are the
So
rules.
you can go back to it and say, hang on.
And
There they are.
yeah,
Here they
exactly.
are.
And I think in the interest of time, I think everybody's on the same page on
Perfect.
this. Thank you so much for your good work
Thanks,
on
David.
this and also, putting it all together and Jeff too, and Jason, with everything you were doing with the crew.
Yeah, thank you. very much.
And then we, the whole enforcement component, we can
Worry
get
about
to
it.
that,
Yeah.
but tonight we're not gonna solve it. And I agree. I think that the next steps is to have you, keep working with Jeff. Let's pull this code together and, bring it back to the board. Yeah, Steve, did you have a comment?
In front of the enforcement, I would have no right to stop anybody.
We understand that. We're not having that discussion right now tonight, so appreciate it because of the late hour.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so thank you very, any other thoughts? Yeah, okay, thank you so much. I'm wondering if we shouldn't break and go into executive session? Yeah. Oh, okay, I make a motion, we go into an executive session for the purpose of discussing a human resource matter.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Lopes.
Aye.
Trustee Co.
Question. Do we have to do that now? We can't do that at the end?
We have someone who's probably been here for over 14 hours.
And he had a hard stop. earlier.
Okay,
Yeah, and he had a hard stop
Okay.
and he's already missed
Sorry.
it, so I apologize.
okay, just wondering.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, where are we in roll call? I'm sorry.
Trustee Co.
Aye.
Trustee Linda.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Can you hit pause, please?
So,
Okay, just make sure captions, everything.
Yeah. Okay.
I make a motion, we leave executive session.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Co.
Aye.
Trustee Linda.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, I make a motion to hire Curtis Kipple, at the position of MEO, starting immediately at $23.50 per hour, contingent on customary background checks. The like.
I'll second.
I'm sorry?
So the fiscal.
And physical.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, absolutely. Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Linda.
Aye.
Trustee Co.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay,
I think the signs actually are just for me.
what do you mean?
I just want to, Dave, can I have your little sheet of paper with the name on there? Thank you.
I don't know if I spelled it.
That's okay.
All right,
Okay,
So it's up.
I can give you.
it's all good.
It's a Ripple, right?
okay, so.
Curtis,
Kimball.
Kimmel,
Hippo. Hippo.
Kipple. Got it.
KIPPLE.
Okay.
KIPPLE.
I spelled it.
Okay. All right, we're gonna just switch very quickly over to the DPW report. You have it, if you have any questions for Jason, so we can have him go home, if he's going into a 16-hour day.
See it for
Yeah,
We put a shot in there.
I know, really.
This is a very open-ended question, Jason. We talked about it last time. I'm just trying to get some clarification. This goes back to the Arboretum, Village, DPW, all that coordination stuff. What is the current, absent of any action on our part, plan, should a resident ask? Or even I was thinking, again, the Arboretum, what's the most of it? Is this a month from now, a week from now? What's your time frame to do that?
It's based on equipment rental.
So you have to rent equipment to do it?
Yeah, we have to,
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. And what is the cost of that every time we do it?
I have to look at the numbers on it.
Okay.
I haven't personally.
he can probably forward that to you offline.
Just,
Yeah.
I can get you the numbers.
Mhm.
yeah,
It would be, 2 to 3 times a year, and choose to use for about a day.
yeah. Okay. The only reason the reason I ask is a lot of the weeds that people like pulled in the meadow are all like back, they're not as thick and not as dense, but many of them are coming back and like half of it was mowed. That it requires rental, and that's why there's
Yeah, we
this
tried
traveling.
about 3 weeks ago to go up there and try them all. And we made 2 passes and kind of made a trail into the middle of the meadow just to see if we could get through. And it's not a feasible thing. There's just too much unevenness there. So we need more of a field mower.
More like brush hog.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
So you're renting a brush hog and then doing the work.
What's
And
that?
so it's like a day work for 1 or 2 people.
Typically one, yeah,
And then get it done in half a day.
usually a day.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Jason?
Nothing for me.
Thanks to everybody for all the good work.
Yeah.
It's looking great. Yeah. Okay,
I don't think you've done it, Jason.
Yeah, no.
we're not done?
So
Oh, that's right, you have other, yeah. Keep
we'll get
going.
into a few of the items here. So
Yeah,
one
because
is,
you and John talked about.
we are due for replacement of one of our one-ton trucks. Subsequently, at the same time, the other one-ton that we have that's not due for replacement, which is our newer one, 2019, was making some very odd noises. The crew brought this to my attention. I took the truck for a test drive. I confirmed that it does not sound good. It's metal on metal type funky sounds. I feared it was transmission. It's actually, I would say probably worse than transmission. It's the rear end. It needs a complete rebuild. So we had that looked into, hog frame and axle. For candidates for that. They took it apart, discovered that the rear end was pretty much coming apart. There's metal chunks in the fluid, big chunks, small chunks. I was able to have them show me a photo of the oil or the fluid that they drained out of the rear end. So that's due for replacement. I have a quote from them that's about 89, 61, 73.
That's
8,000?
Yeah.
Okay, just
$8,000.
give us a bit ballpark, so,
Call it 9 grand.
okay, just like, for like $9,000,
a
okay.
replacement of the back end, not replacement of the truck.
Right, that's just the rear end.
Darn
Initially,
89, I think it's
it.
how.
Yeah, you know.
Initially, we thought maybe we would skip out on this and try to replace that truck first. However, the status of our other truck that we're really looking along now needs to be replaced, so.
So,
We prefer, we ask that, I'm just bringing it to your attention that we try to replace this rear end so we can have this truck back for lease.
So when it's replaced, what do you think, how much more use can you get out of the truck?
Easily 3.
Oh, okay, so for nine
It's
thousand.
due to be replaced next year, but I think we can, it's such a new truck and we haven't been using it because we've been putting the miles on the.
Okay, so the action item then for the board, maybe when we look at our schedule here to revisit that in terms of,
The repair, you can just go ahead and.
no, I'm talking about not purchasing to replace that truck.
Oh, yeah, that can be discussed. in budget.
So we may want to just revisit that. Okay, that's what he's trying to say. So now we potentially, let's keep going on this. It's getting late. Sorry, let's just keep going. It's getting late. So where do you want to go with this? Like, what
So
are
this
we
truck,
looking at?
we talked, we feel it's best to replace the rear end on it, get the truck back as soon as possible. And then the older truck, which is due for replacement, we want to put in to get replaced, with an all-season body versus a steel body. The benefit to that is that right now, if you've ever been to our DPW, you see that we have a salt machine, salter, that sits on a rear rack back in the DPW. We have to back up to that, shove the salter onto it partially with the loader. Then we have to drive off with it, then we have to shove it the rest of the way. Have to tilt the box down, adjust it again, strap it down. This takes, I don't know how long to do. It varies based on the weather, how easy it is to do, if we get it right the first time. The all-season body is a stainless body, so it does not rust. It has a built-in conveyor for salt built into the bed, and the spreader is built on. So now we don't have to mess with a rack that's not designed to hold this stuff. It's an all-in-one type thing. The benefit of this would be when we do leaf season or brush. Let's just say it's November, we're not quite into winter yet, but we're gonna have that 2 days where we're gonna get snow and we need to salt the roads. In order to salt the roads, we would have to go break the truck down.
Take out the leaf box.
Right.
In other words,
For the smaller truck.
oh, for the small, okay.
But this one, we have to put the salter into it, then we
Yeah.
have to take it back out to go back out to pick up leaves. It's a
Ah.
couple hours to do that each time, and if it's just for a couple days, so we usually just leave the salter in and we're down a truck now. This is the problem that the guys were running into last year, was that we were getting that weird snow like late October, then we got in November, then again December.
Understood, okay.
So the
Everybody got
benefit
that?
to the stainless steel body, long story short, is that two things. One, it's increasing our efficiency. Is it a higher purchase point to begin with? Yes. However, we can also take that body, and put it on future trucks moving down the road every 5 to 10 years.
So it's an initial investment in the body to be reused.
In my opinion, yes. I
Okay.
think that
What Jason forgot is the safety impact of taking that salt body on and off.
Yeah, I'll explain really quickly that it takes somebody holding a board and a piece of rubber to the back so that the loader doesn't damage it, push it.
No.
And it's just the method is the loader operator that has to do it and the person on the ground. Nobody likes to be that guy. And the last time we did this was about 11 o'clock at night to try to swap trucks because we had an issue with one of our other trucks. We had to do this in the dark, in the back parking lot, with just the lights from the loader, and it was snowing, it was
Gotcha.
sleeting, and it was not fun. And I said, why are we doing it this way? This doesn't make sense.
Okay, so this is an opportunity for something safer. And so what is the action that is required?
The action that's required is I've gone ahead and got quotes on cabs and chassis.
Okay.
Obviously, to do this, it's a year out. They have to manufacture all this stuff. We're ways away. We'll deal with it this year. We'll get by it. We can. The quotes that I have are for gas and diesel trucks. There's a few different prices in there. My recommendation is to kind of go with the middle of the road. You don't have to go crazy with this truck. It doesn't have to be super duty type deal. And then the stainless body is fairly fab. Who does that?
And so just to confirm, since these are body on frames, you can just get a new frame down the road.
Right.
We'll slap the same thing.
The chassis, so the cab part of the truck, right? Yeah, which is honestly, they're like $55,000 on the truck. You know, and then the dump body is about 75.
Got it. Okay.
So what we need to do tonight is approve the repair of the rear end of the one truck. And then later on, we're gonna do some switching around of what we had planned on purchasing when and facilitate the purchase of that stainless steel.
Yeah,
body.
there's some items that are in the replacement schedule that don't need to be there.
So maybe revisit that and really take a look at.
We can make.
Okay.
numbers
Making
for
those
it.
changes.
My recommendation is we fix the rear end on that truck And then we'll work to rework the 6-year plan to
Great.
reflect
Okay,
Great.
what we actually need, what we don't need, and how we're gonna do this
Yeah,
safer.
there's a
Great.
lot of changes to make us, everything work out.
anything you want to chime in on, Dorothea?
Real quick. The truck itself.
Mhm.
Can you get that immediately or no?
The truck, the chassis.
Yeah.
The cabin chassis are readily available within, like a month or two. Some of them could be even as soon as 2 weeks.
She's looking at the budget cycle.
Do you need it now?
I wouldn't get it now, because the stainless body takes about a year to manufacture.
Okay, so
So whether we ordered it now or 2 weeks from now.
if we got the truck now, are you gonna make a difference and help with
Right,
your work?
we won't see it this season.
Okay, that's all I wanna make sure is you're not gonna. be-
But I don't wanna drag it around till, the spring, and the next thing you know, now we're another year out. And if we're stuck
No,
with
you
the
like
summer-
to.
You wanna get it in the hopper.
You wanna
So
do.
what's the exact amount for the motion for Hall?
This is. Now, they show tax on here, I'm assuming we're tax exempt.
Oh, yeah.
So, before tax, it's 89,61,73.
So I'll make a motion that we expend $8,961.73 for Hawk frame and axle to fix the rear end on that truck.
I second.
We have a second? Yeah.
Can I
Dorothea.
request an amendment? I know you're trying to be exact. I would go to the 9,500.
It's covered.
Discover something
Up
else.
to $9,000.
It could very well come in less than that too, based on the parts.
Yeah, just to
So
give it
I'll
some leeway.
So I'll amend that to 9,000.
I second.
Okay, roll call.
Okay, trustee Coe,
Hi.
trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Linda,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Aye,
motion passes.
okay. We got a rear end fixed. All right. What else do you need?
So the truck, the $70,000 truck that's in here,
Yeah, so that was the quotes that are in there were just to show you the examples.
do we need to act on that tonight?
That's where I was trying to go, and
Sorry.
apparently not. We can wait until he has it all tidied up and we'll
Yeah,
get a letter of
we
it
can
to
get
you.
up the numbers on our.
So
Okay.
you referenced middle of the road, you're thinking diesel, right?
So we don't currently have diesel 1 tons, so those would be the smaller trucks, we use gas. I'm not opposed to having the diesel, the only problem is a lot of these trucks come with the diesel particulate filters.
Mhm.
And they are just causing all sorts of havoc and mechanical nightmares with these trucks, they don't last more than 2 or 3 years before needing, $5,000.
These aren't the big ones, these are the smaller.
No,
These are the smaller trucks that you see us go around.
Mile.
Yeah, they just don't, I prefer for those to stick with gas.
Okay, great, thanks.
Okay.
And if you could, just talking about the long-term capital plan, the one that's on the website is 2024, if you might happen to drop to 2025.
I thought it was dropped. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make sure. to-
I was
Yeah, let's
just,
double
I was
check.
pulling up the village multi-year plan and it shows the 2023 plan.
Okay, so look into that.
Thank you.
Okay, keep going. That's
No, you don't. No.
Sorry.
Okay, we need the approval on the REIT quote, so we can get the
Oh,
REIT.
yes,
for it.
quotes.
So I have a little comment from a decorator's standpoint. Do we always have to get the same old red bow? Can we, I mean, we're paying $420. Can we be unique
For the
for the
reasons,
bows? Yeah. I mean,
or the big ones.
custom getting them, the big ones. I don't know. I need to think about it.
This is
But
for
we can
the-
get those like at Home Depot. If we're custom making these bows, let's get something cool.
for the wreaths or the.
The wreaths,
For
right?
the REITs, not the Disney boats.
Oh, okay.
Oh, those, yeah.
The
Yeah,
white
okay.
Disney bows?
Yeah,
The big boat.
Oh, yeah, no.
You're not
Those
the
I don't
big
like. No, no, I don't.
Just
like
what
those
we
either,
tie on the. wreath?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Dave.
but- Can we, who do I talk to?
That's just a thing that we ordered through,
Bristol?
Bristol.
Okay,
It's to pick, that they they'll make
yeah,
them,
all right.
so.
I'll call.
colors we-
Okay, so the wreaths, where the, lost my.
We need to get them ordered because they gotta make.
Yeah, they have to,
I make a motion to approve up to $2,300 for the wreaths for the holiday season. Do I have a second?
Okay,
roll call.
Okay, trustee Coe,
Aye.
trustee Linda,
aye,
trustee Marshall,
Aye.
trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Aye.
motion passes.
Okay, what else?
Jason needs some equipment declared surplus. 'cause
Oh, yeah,
he's
my
gonna
surplus.
take
Oh,
it
often, yeah.
And before we can do that, you need to say that we're no longer gonna use it so we can sell it. I like selling things that brings us more.
I will say, if you've seen the list, the only thing we're gonna remove from the list is the 1981 Owens tandem axle. We don't need to replace the trailer. And right now, the amount of time we use it, we can get by for a little bit longer with this
Okay.
trailer. So I don't see a
But
reason.
everything else,
Everything else.
okay.
Make a motion to declare items 1 through 4 and 6 no longer in use and therefore surplus.
Ooh, that was good. Good
Okay.
counting.
Trustee Willis.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Linda.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay,
I think we got everything on your list.
That is everything, for sure.
okay. Anything else for Jason? Otherwise, go home and get some rest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
Jason.
Thank you. I'm thinking we should probably, we don't need Steve, do we need Steve for the code discussion? That you're the one you wanted on the agenda. By the way, and I'm gonna pull, it's code discussion ground mounted signs.
Oh, no, we could do that. next meeting.
Okay, we're gonna pull that, and then we're also gonna pull the membership on village boards, because that's just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
discussion. What
Yeah.
No, we're not, no, this is just, we'll just put it, kick that can down. the
We
road.
want to do.
Okay, yeah, because I'm thinking it's been like, yeah. Steve, okay, so we have the
Now,
building, what? We have the
talking
building
about-
inspector report.
Right,
Anything for Steve?
yeah. That's gonna go along with the bike.
Always,
The bike.
villages always happen, I'll tell you.
Good.
Okay. Thanks, Steve. Yeah. All right, thank you so much.
45-minute drive.
I know. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thanks
Steve.
again.
There's no tractor.
Okay, next up, yeah, that's true. You're the only car on the road.
That's silver light.
I know, really. Okay, so the next thing up is the stormwater model code. And this is really integrating what is required for us as a member
Right,
of the Stormwater Coalition.
so we have a current stormwater code which has good stuff in it. In order to try to integrate everything together, it would have been time consuming. So I just slammed it all. Yeah,
A one and done.
well, two and done.
Two and done, that's right, it's a two and done, exactly. Yeah, so I
So
mean,
now with this.
Yeah.
This gets passed, whenever it goes to public hearing. Then I can write a letter that says yes.
and then we're in compliance and we're current.
And then they'll stop breathing down that neck.
Yeah,
That is a lot of work.
yeah, so,
Wow.
So it just needs to go to public hearing and that's good enough.
yeah, we're gonna set a date for public hearing.
He's gonna pass.
Yeah, but. Everybody good?
Yep.
We wanna date for public hearing?
What date?
9:23 at 6 P.M.
Oh.
We're as close.
No earlier than.
So
Okay.
I make a does that have to be separate ones for the two?
No, it's one lot.
Just one,
It's one.
okay. I make a motion to bring the stormwater
Code
code
amendment.
amendment to public hearing on September 23rd, 2025. At no earlier than 6 P.M. I'm trying to remember.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion in a second.
Okay, trustee Linda.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Let's see, treasurers. Oh, hang on.
Are we doing?
Do we need to
There's
do
two.
anything?
There's.
Remember items in.
Anything for member items? Just,
I've got one member item.
but I mean for Jeff, just otherwise we can release them to the universe.
Real quick, you had discussion on the business district traffic calming and you still had membership for village.
No,
board.
we're pulling that for the, we'll put it on a different agenda. Yeah, it's tabled, thank you.
I can just do a quick report on traffic calming if you want. It'll take me a second.
Did you do village hall drainage with Scott?
You did that.
Yeah, that was before you came, yeah. Yeah, we moved him up.
So we're doing traffic calming?
Please.
Oh, I thought you wanted to pull it, I'm sorry.
This is just really a public
sure,
report.
sure.
Has anybody been to Park Avenue recently?
Mhm.
And have you seen the beautiful renovations, the street renovations, right?
I haven't seen it
And
finished.
have you seen the crosswalks where they have the elevated, beautiful,
Yep.
long, wow, I was so
The
excited.
table walk.
So I started my journey to New York State DOT, and I've talked to about 3 people so far. And to talk to them about doing things like that, and more traffic calming stuff. So he gave me the story of New York State has all the same regulations for all their state roads. And I said, okay, that's good. And he goes, we can't just change it for Pittsburgh. I said, okay, I understand that, but can we sit down with the committee and talk about changing it for villages in New York State, all villages in New York State, so that we're not looked at as just a state road in a rural community when we're a state road in a small pedestrian. I told them about near misses. And so I am in the process of working with the state. I have a name. His name is Matt Oravec. And I've got, you know, Matt?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna start this journey and we'll see where it goes.
Okay, and I'm gonna work with you on that because I'm
Okay.
very, very familiar with working with
Perfect.
NISTOD. I've worked with Renee Stetzer on pretty much all the stuff that
Great.
comes back into the village.
It's about changing their perspective, you know, just to let people.
Understood, and we're also gonna be bringing in, our elected officials in Albany, because you need to have a whole other level of advocacy. We'll
Great,
talk
okay,
about that offline, so
Okay.
thank you for that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Where are we? Treasurer, thank you, Jeff.
Want me to stick around? We're done?
I think we're good, yeah, I think we're good,
All right.
but thank you very much.
Thanks for joining. You're welcome.
Okay, treasurer's report?
Yes, I have quite a bit of items and unfortunately I can't table anything.
Yeah,
Um,
but you'll speak.
I quickly in my own minutes. So is there any questions on the bill pay?
Nope.
Nothing nice.
Nope. Is there a motion? To approve? Anybody?
Make a motion to.
I second.
Roll call.
Okay, trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Real quick before I go next, did you guys like the AI
Yeah.
thing I did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that's
was
good.
playing and I thought,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me that. HPV just
Okay.
sent that. to me, too.
June financial. So. June. Spent many hours on June.
Boy, June was, I don't even, yeah, that's appalling, weird.
June took so much time, I was terrified to go into July. No, there's nothing surprising.
Yeah.
It's what it is, the numbers came in, questions on June, nothing surprising, it's the opening round. It was just like peeling an onion, getting it in, because it's the first month. I'm hoping July goes much smoother, but then.
Nice job.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
a lot of work you put in, so much work, thank you.
So, you know, we're just starting our year, so things are looking pretty good. For me, we're starting the year, we're in September. I hope to have us caught up soon, sooner than later. So if there is any questions on that, I just need approval. I know Dave met with me. Our process has been to meet before I give you a treasury report, just so we can look at it in the financials and he has any
Thank you
questions.
for that, yeah. Okay, is there a
Yes.
motion to
My only
approve?
comment is I really like seeing all those lines with reserves and funding and.
Yeah, you're gonna like these so much.
He loves that,
Until when?
Until the next slide.
yeah. Okay, so do we have a motion? Please, there was a motion. Do we have a second? Did you
Second.
make a motion? Who made a motion?
I'll make a motion that we
Okay.
approve the June financial statements.
We do a backwards motion.
Second.
Okay,
All right, trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, so these are the things that keep me up nights. We have a bathroom to pay for, and when I was looking at it, I was hoping we were taking from fund balance to cover the bathroom or not. If anybody looked at our cash, we can't.
thanks so much.
I had my meeting with trustee Wilkes, we discussed plans to cover this, we went a little heavy with sewer with the reserves. We have a very healthy sewer reserve funds,
Yes.
so,
I think you said this is the biggest reserve has ever been.
yeah,
Thank you very
this has grown substantially, we put quite a bit in when we
Yeah.
funded the reserves. So we discussed some options, one of the things is general does need to pay part of that bathroom. So we're gonna need to take from general, there's also the new water sewers that had to go in conjunction with this, so these are bills that are gonna be coming. We haven't seen a bill for the project yet, so that's a good thing, because can't cut a check right now. But I would like to be able to cut a check when that time comes. So what I need the board to do, and Dave, you had the suggestion how we break it out.
Yeah.
Is take from, I think it's 3 reserves we are looking to take from.
Yeah, so it would be, let's see, the infrastructure repair reserve, the building repair reserve fund, and then the building replacement, I think, improvement and alteration reserve.
Yep.
So those three effectively, because again, there's a water service aspect to it, so from an infrastructure
Yeah.
standpoint, that makes sense. And then the split that we would do between the general fund would be effectively the backwards of what we do in terms of pro rata right now. Currently, when we split
Right.
between the two, it's 68 at general, 32 with the sewer, but in this case, we would swap it. And so it'd be 32 with general, so they would pay effect, because I think it's about 325,000 total.
The bid came in at 200, I would say 285.
280 something?
Yeah, 285, almost 290, which was over budget. We had planned 250, but 50,000 of that went towards engineering.
And then
so
the
we're almost
water and
100,000 more than we planned just on the building. And plus now we have the water service, and I'm not sure what the total impact of the water service is gonna be. So we should plan a little bit more for that as well.
So I think that's where we came up with a cushion to get
We
up
came
to
up with a-
300.
Yeah, so we're covering, we're
That way
covering
we're
it,
covering
basically.
everything. So effectively it'd be about 108,000 from general.
Yeah.
And then the remainder would come from the sewer, and that's where we would pull from those 3 reserves. So about 217,000.
Correct.
I have a question. So we know that the DPW crew is gonna be doing some of the finish work inside with fixtures. Where's the funding coming from?
Well, that can come out of the budget.
Okay, just wanna make sure, you know,
We could
we're.
take it out of the budget, and if there's cushion in there, we can take it out of that cushion. as
Okay,
well.
okay. I just didn't want you to short
No, I
yourself.
think we'll be okay.
Okay,
And just to put a fine point on it, given the fact that what we need to effectively pay of that 325 is about 217.
Mhm.
I think we did kind of back of the envelope. If you took 50% of these reserves,
Mhm.
so the 190, the 100, 175,
okay,
you get, and keep the rest, that's 232,500. So that's more than covers the cost that we would
Okay.
need to cover on the 217. While we're keeping back 50% of each one of those reserves still.
Yeah.
Would be there.
oh, okay.
So you'd have
I see
eight,
where
you
you're
know,
going.
you'd have, what is that? 95,000,
Mhm.
then you'd have 50,000, and then, you know,
Oh, and
so
that's what the reserves are for, to do
to
stuff
do
like
stuff like this.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
Yeah.
also, you're still waiting on, you would get about 125,000 from sewer next month.
Yeah, we have our revenue that comes in, the fund,
yeah,
it's just we hit our low point.
it's our cash flow.
It was the
Again.
cash flow,
Yeah.
that's the way it flows, and then
It's a
we
thing
went
about
to our
it.
lowest point in our savings because we did the reserves and I applied them in June and everything. And
It
now
was
we're
prior to
collecting
sewer
our most
billing.
recent sewer billing, so you'll see that coming. It's just the way everything landed, it. like,
So let
took
me
My breath away.
say this slightly different. If the money was received over the course of the year, we would have the money to pay for it out of the fund balance of that account, right?
You're gonna take it too low and not keep our fund balance.
So when we were doing the long-term planning, we had that sheet that expressed how many years it was gonna take to bring the fund balance down to 20 or 30%.
Yeah, it's not,
Right?
we're not there.
This is a bigger ticket item than normal,
Mhm.
right? So it's a little excess, which is why the reserves are useful.
Yeah.
Do you remember how much of the fund balance we were looking to maintain?
We were looking to maintain between 20%, 20
Right.
25, and I think that's where we took it.
Yep.
So we don't have that cushion anymore.
Right, so what's the budget for the sewer again? I've got it here, I just can't.
I think the budget was quite high this year, I wanna say. I want to say it was 800,000.
800, so.
No, I'm wrong, it's 600.
637.
637, I'm doing
We
it.
did that, we said that
I did that.
10% would give us 67,000,
Yeah, so
and then
600,000 plus. And we're basically asking 200 grand from it. And because it's not coming in, we only have 138, you don't want to drive that too much lower.
I don't know.
So how much of that 136 were you gonna take from? Or are you doing it all from?
we're doing it all.
We're doing all,
And then
I
that
don't
way-
touch the fund balance.
Which is
The
fine.
fund balance will get refilled
Sure,
anyways.
and we can, And I think because next year, we're not gonna have a big sewer
Exactly.
hit, we
Right.
can just put it back into reserves and then run the budget on a thinner.
If you want,
Yeah.
if you want
But this is a
Yeah.
good strategy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's all cash flow. You're essentially borrowing from reserves to a degree that you don't put it back at the end of the year.
theoretically, yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Which is fine.
We'll see where we land.
Okay, so what do we need for the action for you?
I need the board to make a motion to use reserve funds from these funds to cover the costs of the sewer.
For the purpose of the bathroom project?
Correct, and then in addition. Now with general fund covering. The hundred and.
Motion from both of
Yeah,
the reserves?
I'm comfortable with the sewer conversation for now, and you've identified the 3 reserves that are relatively applicable to it. Right, and so that's fine by me. I'd entertain a motion and second it.
Okay, let's start with that.
Who made the, did you make the motion? Who made the
Go
motion?
ahead, Dave, you did.
So
Somebody make a motion.
I'll make a motion, to allow, wait, say it again, Dorothea. I'm sorry, I haven't ate dinner.
I know, we're all goofy.
To use reserve funds. to
Oh, I
cover the
think
costs
so.
of
I can't have,
refund.
Okay, there we go.
David, here you go, yeah, here you go, they're little spicy fish, take some, pat them down, I know,
I make a motion to utilize reserve funding from the infrastructure repair reserve, building repair reserve fund, and building replacement improvement and alteration reserve funds to pay for the DPW bathroom project. And can I do them both at the same time?
We'll go to sewer, we'll go to general,
And then do you want me to do it at the 50%
yes.
amount? Okay, at a 50%
Drawdown?
drawdown.
wow.
Why you have
They
a
put the
reserve?
big one.
There we go.
Yeah, that went everywhere.
John seconded it.
Okay, so trustee Coe,
Hi,
trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Linda.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Okay, next part.
And then
General.
make a motion to do a budget transfer.
Nope.
Or no,
Wait,
general.
on
Let me
general, sorry, can we talk
Hang
about
on, we're
general
gonna
first?
talk about general first. but let me
I suppose I
explain.
can wait,
Well,
but
you can.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain what we're doing with general.
Yeah.
General just is gonna get paid back in this next month because we got the bond funds in. We put out 100,000 to cover the engineering for South and Wood. So we're gonna repay general back that 100,000. So that's going back to the fund balance. What I'm asking the board to is prove that 100,000 or a little more,
108.
108.
How about
To
up to
pay for the
110?
bathroom,
110.
okay, because it's not in the budget.
right. From
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 the general fund.
From general.
so good with that.
Can we just say,
So you're in charge of all these motions.
make a motion
To
as,
allow the use of fund balance for the bathroom project up to 110,000,
as
So,
as I said.
you said.
Second.
wow, we are losing it.
Okay, trustee Marshall,
spicy little fishy, not your kids' fishy, that's part of
trustee Wilkes,
Aye, sorry.
trustee Coe.
Thank you.
Trustee Coe,
Hi.
trustee Linda.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Aye,
motion passes.
okay, we
We're
slogged
not
through
done.
that.
We're not done. I need a third.
But wait, there's more. Okay.
Wait, there's more. In the case, because the board talked to me about the deposits, the CDs. They wanted me to put them in a longer CD.
Oh.
Guess what Dorothea did? Dorothea put the reserves in longer CDs.
Guess what interest rates did?
Yeah, there we go, with that.
Nice.
Nice, except for one little issue.
You need money now.
No,
Good. You are good.
John's on it.
So what I did, just so real quick, when I took the sewer reserve, I didn't have a chance to talk to David prior to doing that, but I went ahead and went with my gut instinct. I went with 6 months. I took 500,000 from the reserves for sewer, put it in 6 months. I took the other and put it in 2 months. Okay, just so I knew that in case something happened, we had some money. I did the same, general, I just put 6 months. There wasn't enough in that reserve to read. The rest of it, I did our big savings with general, I put half in 6 months and I put half into 60 days. So I took your advice, I did split it up. I hope that works the way it was. The problem is if I get a bill again, For the bathrooms, my money is tied up. The only account that has money that. I probably okay in sewer, but I'd like the board to give me the leeway to do an interfund transfer from general to cover the cost of the sewer, the bathroom expense.
For the time being.
For just a temporary loan.
I
So
think
it's
the
like a
only,
bridge loan.
the only thing I don't understand about that is why couldn't we use, I know it would bring us down very low, but fund balance on sewer.
Because we have other sewer bills to pay in the meantime as they come in, and I don't wanna get it, I don't want
Okay,
the fund
yeah.
balance to get too low. I
We
don't
would
wanna.
be legally
I don't wanna-
okay, but we don't want
legally,
to.
I don't even
Gotcha.
like be
Okay.
okay.
On this, we haven't gotten a bill yet, right?
No, we have
It's
not.
coming.
Okay, but when it comes, remittance is usually what, 90 days,
No,
60 days,
30.
30 days.
30 days? Let's hope it doesn't come in 30 days.
Wait, when does the 2 months mature?
60 days.
Yeah, when does the 2
How
months
long?
mature?
Yeah, when's
What's the
maturing?
maturing date?
We're almost a month, well, 2-3 weeks since I
Yeah, so
discussed
just
it.
wait on it. Don't do the transfer. Just wait
So
on it.
waiting that something
Yeah.
happens, then I get permission.
Cause then you would have,
I just wanna leave that out
We
there
might need an
because
emergency meeting just in case.
I didn't do my normal 30.
Here's the question though, he started this project when? He's been there for 2 months?
He's been there a while. He's
So we're
July.
gonna get the, I know, we know how, he's,
Well, let me put it this way, if we get the bill, I gotta bring the bill to the board to pay.
That's
I didn't
true.
ask at that time.
and
to
he's
allow-
worked with us, I mean, he knows.
I just tried to lay it all out.
Just tell him to listen
The
to
money's there, as they
It's a
say.
3.5 hour of the meeting and you'll understand why I waited.
I just wanted to lay it all out on for you, so you understand.
No, he does a lot of work for the village, he knows.
I think-
Okay, so
Okay, moving on,
next,
the energy agreement, Monroe County hit me with, it expired at the end of August, they notified me. End of August,
yeah,
so we currently pay for a portion of our electric and gas through Monroe County. It's a standard agreement we've had for several years. We do a simple resolution that we continue with the agreement, the last resolution we did. Was sent to approve the intermunicipal agreement with Monroe County and authorize the mayor to sign the
And I think-
agreement.
I think they do, a lot of villages do this, because you
Yeah,
get a
Because
reduction.
we save on our energy.
Yeah,
because
because of
counties. So this is the agreement. I need the board to do the resolution and authorize the mayor to sign it, the intermunicipal.
I'll make a motion to allow the mayor to sign the intermunicipal agreement with RG&E,
With the county.
with the county.
I second.
And to do the previous resolution as you stated. Thank you.
Oh, and allow me to sign it?
Yes.
It's in there, okay.
Okay, trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Linda.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes. We're flying here. So next. We added 2 new trustees. 2 new trustees went on New York State retirement. I have to do a resolution because of elected and appointed officials. You're treated differently and this has to be posted. Obviously, when I turn this into New York State retirement and we'll have your social security and all those pertinent information that's done digitally. But when it's posted, it has to be posted, I think, almost 60 days, 45 days. It won't have that information. I will not.
It's all redacted.
It's all. pulling out.
Can I ask a question, you guys that are going into the New York State retirement system? I didn't do it 2 years ago. But how much is it if you're a trustee for 4 years or 8 years? I mean, is it a,
I don't think, if it's 4 years, I don't think you get anything, right?
You get a check.
you get it?
Oh,
You get money back?
You wouldn't get an annuity, you would get a lump sum.
It gets in the cash.
You know how much it would be, John?
I don't know.
It would be what you put in,
Yeah, it's based off of the hour calculation.
right? It would be the percentage of the dollar you put in. The only thing I would say is if you're a trustee and you're planning on making this habit and keep doing it for years, you might want to
For your
do it
votes.
because it's like a buy,
Right.
you earn it.
Can I buy back my last 2 years?
Actually, you can.
I was thinking.
Oh, really?
See, because I get my time when I was building inspector here, I
You
get
don't need to.
a rush,
It's,
I
it
get-
only has to be renewed.
and
when
your
you
boards can get it.
Hang on, I'm sorry.
leave. Sorry. Yeah.
Your people on the planning board and HPB, they're all eligible. I asked about the town, the planning board, and we're not eligible because we don't get paid.
Can you retroactively do that?
You do that with the state and then they inform you what your payback amount is, but. If you're a part of the system, so let's say your day job changes and you go into permanent municipal work, you have to, or you go part-time somewhere, you have to, once you're part of the system, you always have to report.
Gotcha.
Gotcha, okay.
That's the problem.
So the action from us is,
To prove this resolution and the posting as presented.
Can you include me?
We have to have you sign up and you have to see.
we can do that offline, we have a kind of nervous along,
Yeah,
but,
I didn't know if I.
oh,
could just
yeah,
get-
sure,
No, I can't add you without enrolling.
okay. So is there a motion from somebody based on what Dorothea just said?
As
Okay.
presented,
You, yeah, you
I
can.
make a motion as presented,
Yes.
second,
In a second,
Second.
roll call.
Okay, trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
aye.
Trustee Limerick.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Oh, how about me?
Oh, Mayor.
Can I chime in?
Mayor Palmer.
Yeah, aye.
Sorry,
Okay,
it's the first time tonight.
I know, what's next?
Real quick, just want to let you know, I got the, estimate for our annual bill, and you saw I sent out to you that the rates are going up 1.1% over last year. The good news is, we budgeted 107,000 for that bill. And the bill is gonna be $82,489, so we will have some money coming back.
See, the money's there. It's on the line.
You never know, with New York State, it can change,
Yeah,
but it
that's
came in,
true.
it's coming in better than planned.
Okay.
Grant notification, so. Laura Dock in our office encouraged her to file for a New York State archive grant. It was delayed in its announcement, but we obtained a $25,000 New York State archive grant for digital software for our archives. We currently have some software, it doesn't work as advertised, so we will be upgrading it, changing it, adding new targets, adding new records. We'll be bringing to you a records management guide to be updated for the village hall.
And it's a direct grant, am I correct?
That is a direct grant, there's
Yes.
no match. This is, matter of fact, they give me a check for 50% of that grant amount right up front. So it's an awesome grant, it really is.
Well, thank Laura for it.
I will.
Well, this is amazing, first
It
time
is.
she's ever written a grant. This is like, she's a unicorn.
I will tell you, historically, getting an archive grant
Amazing.
is the most difficult thing to do on the planet. And
Wow.
especially the
She
first
just
time out.
Nailed
That-
it.
That's why I say, make sure she knows we appreciate it
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got this text while I was on vacation. I was on the phone within 2 minutes.
I know. Yeah, it's pretty
Just
cool.
amazing. I can't applaud her more. The other part of this is we need to really to do this right. We're gonna probably have to bring in someone part-time to help with that scanning and getting
Yeah.
those targets right.
Yeah.
To really do this, because it's gonna be a big project. So her new full-time status, her new full-time hours, she's gonna be dedicated to this grant once we get the final
Mhm.
push from New York State and final contract.
And then the goal would be, once we, get all of this stuff digitized, is to make some of this available, like.
Yes,
we'd
we'll
love
have a
to-
link on our website to hit our
And
archives,
now people
and we
can be able to
will
access.
present certain things. We'll start small with what's available to the public, and then
Mhm.
slowly add things that are available to the public, whether it's redacted, whether it's
It's fantastic.
but it'll be a really nice thing.
Is this something that the Boy Scouts can volunteer to help with?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, sorry. I mean, we want to make sure who,
It's all-
you're looking,
Yep.
it's gotta be right.
Yeah, this is a big deal.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Thank you. What else?
Okay,
Yeah,
last item, so that was good news. Our public policy, I know this is really a quick change I have on it, but if anybody had any other changes, we state in here that the public will have comments at general manners at the end of the meeting. We moved that to the beginning of the meeting. It should reflect. what
Oh,
we're
yeah,
actually
we need to amend that.
That's the only amendment I had to.
Yeah.
I didn't know if the board had any other amendments. It should be reviewed periodically, but
So everybody take a look at it and you can give Dorothea the feedback if there's anything,
Yeah,
we can bring it
but
back.
I can't change it without the board approval, so.
So what?
Well, you should, we need to amend the one
At least
thing.
that
for
part,
sure.
Amend the one thing, please.
So do you want a motion?
Sure.
Okay.
make a motion to amend the
Public comment.
public comment
Keep going.
to begin at the beginning, or policy to begin to be
Yeah,
at the beginning of the meeting.
You're good, you're on.
Second,
Okay, we have a second roll call.
Trustee Marshall. Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Linda.
aye,
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes. And that's all of my items.
Oh,
But
wow.
I'll be at NICOM next week, so.
Yeah,
I will not-
it's gonna be in Lake Placid.
We're not
A
approving
nice time of year to be
it.
there.
We got minutes.
Yeah, we were all there.
Everybody was in Lake Placid this summer, right?
John was there,
Right?
Alicia's there.
Yeah. Hey.
Any changes, everything good with June 10th? Minutes.
Oh, the minutes, sorry.
Well,
Just sort of blanked out on that one.
you want a motion?
Sure.
I'll
Well,
make a motion to approve the June 10th minutes as submitted.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Trustee Marshall. Trustee Linda.
Aye,
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Hi,
Motion passes.
thanks for remembering me. Okay.
Twice.
I know. Okay, what else?
I'm done.
You're good? Okay, yeah, stick a fork in, I'm done. All right. Any trustee liaison reports, member items?
Yes.
Kind of zip through.
no, go ahead.
there you go, you're on that side. we'll move down.
I
Go
was
into
at
your
the
thing.
planning board meeting the other night, and I brought up to them the last 10 years on my town planning board, we've had a student liaison
Yeah.
that was approved by the town board. We usually get juniors and keep them for 2 years. And we found that the schools, one went to Holy Cross, and they told them they were very impressed with the fact that they were the liaison. And the one I just got rid of, he's going to the Vassar Honor College for
Got rid of
municipal
him?
planning. I mean, the kid's really into it, so
That's
I
cool.
talked to the board the other night and asked them if they would be willing to have a student liaison. That, you know, I would, I need permission to go talk to the principal over at Sutherland, if you folks are okay with that. I'd like to keep it at Sutherland because it's in the village, but if they've got somebody, I would bring that name to the board and you guys would approve it.
They, you know, and also, they have the government,
Yeah.
Class,
program,
yeah.
the other class.
Right.
That they would
Right.
be
And
interested.
when we had it at the town, the person always sat between the liaison and the attorney. So there was a lot of, you know, this is what's going on type thing, but they get a package, just like any other board member. They get all the notices. They can't vote, obviously, but
They become to understand process.
exactly.
and how-
So if you folks are okay with that, I just want to be able to go talk to the principal over at Sutherland and get it set up.
Do they get an email? .gov?
That would be up to the,
Oh, that's actually a good point, from a record keeping standpoint.
yeah. And if there's communications, I mean.
Well, if they
Well,
get,
Because it expose their,
yeah, you don't want to have their personal email.
Yeah, that would
for it.
expose
In
their
other words, we
personal
would
email.
have to set up, I would think, a little account
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
And it could just be, you know, student liaison at village, so it's a
Something
generic
to-
account.
If that works, but I just want to make
I
sure.
love that idea,
yeah,
Sean.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, I like.
Can I piggyback off that? When we're talking to this principal, I'm gonna ask Dave, Dan Olson, if he would get one
Perfect.
for the HPV, because I think that'd be great. to
Up
get
at,
that
up
involved.
at the town, most of the boards have a student, we call them student liaison.
Does the town have any material describing?
No, no.
So it's just really interactive relation,
Let's-
just saying, hey, you want to do this?
Yeah.
Nice.
Out of
Could
curiosity,
you ask him about
Oh,
HPV as well?
certainly, yeah.
Okay.
curiosity, could we give preferential opportunity to village residents?
We certainly could.
I don't know if that's necessary or.
Well, that's why I was keeping it up at Sutherland, but I
Wait, what do
could
you-
narrow it and see if we do have.
There's 3 applicants for the liaison and one is in the village.
Yeah,
Well,
We-
Would they all, or most of them?
No, well,
No.
Someone draws from all the way down to the Brighton line.
whether it's
Yeah.
unfortunate or not, the town, we've gotten them all out of Pittsburgh Mendon. You know, that's where the interest was.
I suppose Sutherland's close enough, it's already in the village and just leave it to the
so,
discretion of the board.
Yeah.
It'd be
Why-
great
why
to get an
regulate?
interested kid.
Yeah, why regulate where you don't need to, who cares?
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, wonderful idea. Anything else, John?
No, that's it.
Okay, Lisa?
Quickly, just a rundown from this HPV meeting. There was just an interesting, garage conversion. And I think this is gonna come up a lot, 39 Courtney Circle. They want to make a garage into an in-law apartment for her, taking care of her mom. So they're talking about removing the door and making it look like more of an addition. So that's been tabled because they need to find out more information about that. But we might start seeing some of these renovated in-law.
in-law suite.
Yeah, yeah. coming
Tom
up.
just went through that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So that's that. The only thing is they got a huge plea, please, they're really short. They are down 3 seats and they're asking the mayor to please.
Yeah, I've been
fill it
meeting
up.
with people and
Okay,
reviewing
great.
resumes, and you'll
So
be
I
getting some
told
of
Dan I
them
would,
too.
I would
Yep.
just ask you. again.
No, thanks so much
All
for
right.
bringing that up.
And then
Appreciate it.
quickly, you guys, for the bicentennial, what we need from you is on Saturday, if possible, on the 27th. At 2 o'clock at the Collins Pavilion, it's gonna be.
Oh, is it 2?
What do you have, 12?
Is that the lemon?
2, 5, yeah, that's at the Collins Pavilion, right?
At
Did you
2?
change it?
Oh, I thought it was at noon.
You changed it?
Noon to 1. I don't know.
Let me verify.
Double check.
I'll
It's just
double
like
check
an
that.
hour.
It's either 12 or 2.
12 or 2, okay.
I'll double check and I'll just send it out.
The lemonade on the.
That's on Saturday. It's gonna be at Collins Pavilion, right next to
Oh.
Block 32.
Gotcha.
12 or 2. I'll get that tomorrow.
So this is like a little gathering
All right.
of members at the pavilion, either 12 or 2.
Yeah, and I will tell you tomorrow. And then the other thing is on Sunday, for sure, it's 12 noon. Is the Seneca Chief coming in? So if you guys could be available there as a welcoming committee. That's it.
Yeah, and the lemonade thing, like all the elected officials are being invited, you know, like from the town.
Yeah, I tried to look it up on our website. I
And
gotta
and
be
if
able
they
to-
can make it, you know, just it's informal,
Not
it's just
here.
meet your elected.
What's the time of the flotilla arriving and are we? gonna-
Noon. We're expecting the Seneca Chief to get there around noon, so we're
Noon
using
both
noon.
days.
All right, so should we meet beforehand and have like a little cheer and whatever?
Yeah,
as
like
it
what
Yeah.
are we?
Comes in?
So there's the fire department band's gonna start playing at around 11:30. Again, you
Okay.
know, we don't know exactly
On the
when, so
website, too.
so just try to get up there between 11:30 and 12:30.
Okay.
We don't know exactly when.
We'll all just find each other and then.
Yeah.
I'll put 11.
Well, it's gonna be pretty formal because the 3 boats are gonna dock, the River Reed, the Seneca Chief, and the Sam Patch, and they're gonna be available for everybody to tour the boats while they're docked.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's gonna be cordoned off, there's gonna be a podium, there's gonna be a PA system. I don't know if Adam Bello is gonna be on the flotilla, but Bill Smith is, I am. There might be Howie, you know, other elected officials, so there'll be some brief comments, you know, when everybody gets off the boat and, you know, that kind of thing.
The band's gonna play, we're gonna
Yeah.
have color guard coming in and welcoming them, so.
They're like a swapping of the bands.
Yeah, there is the
Like,
colonial
coming
ballad,
out, yeah.
play it out.
Yeah, they know that
Yeah.
it doesn't stop, yep, so.
Do we have any beer tents, for lack of a better way of
No.
saying it? So this is just, okay, perfect.
Yeah, no beer tents or anything like that. We're not closing down the street.
Yep.
So far. We might have a dog
street-
possibly.
The street will be closed from the north main.
We are gonna do that too.
Yes, I spoke with Steve today, and he said
Okay.
there's definitely a public safety issue, because there will be hundreds and hundreds of people coming to this.
North
So,
Main,
yeah, so it's gonna be from North Main here down to, you know, the pole tower, just the way we've done for the Harvest Moon Festival and other stuff. So the traffic will be diverted, there's volunteers that are gonna be stationed, you know, different areas redirecting. Additional parking will be, behind the flour mill. And also redirection for people coming in to park at the pickle factory, walk up the canal, you know, so we've done this in the past, so.
Also know there's gonna be a little museum exhibit that's gonna be right at Shane Place, right next to the new wine bar, that little space there. We're gonna have like, yeah, so you'll be able to walk in there. There's gonna be an art show in there for all Erie Canal focused art from the Pittsburgh Art Group. We're gonna have like the Erie Canal memorabilia from Vicky, the historian.
It's all online too.
Yeah.
Yeah. on
So
the
lots
website. Yeah.
going on down there.
Yeah, so, and thank you so much for
Yeah,
mentioning that,
absolutely
Lisa.
fun.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. I don't have anything.
Um,
Even if I
only-
did, I'm not gonna.
Only member item I had was just a question related to South and Wood.
Mhm.
Any update in terms of like how it's, because it looks beautiful.
It's all.
I've been out talking with neighbors, walking up and down, everybody's been happy.
Yeah, yeah.
But
we
minor
should.
inconveniences, but.
They see the result, they really see the result, and they're almost there, there's a little bit of tweaking. There was a re-engineering at the corner of, I think it was Locust.
Yeah.
And South, yeah, because, and it was great, because the neighbor just said, you know, that slope's gonna be pretty bad.
Yeah.
And, they re-engineered it, and it's a lot better, so, and I appreciate the fact that the contractor and the engineer said, you know, you're right. So, we are gonna have some kind of a little, sort of a ribbon cutting or something with Senator Summer Group, because she gave us the grant funding for the sidewalks. So, what we'll probably do is just maybe cordon up a little bit of Wood Street for, will be like a 15-minute thing or
Mhm.
something. But to say thank you, and we'll let the residents know too, just to,
Yeah.
it's a good thing.
Sure.
Yeah, so Jason, I think, is also following up with them in terms of where they are with the tweaking and the punch list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll let you guys know when that comes up.
So you-
So then my only question is, if it is going to be kind of sooner than we thought, do we get me the money that we were spending for the extra engineer?
It'll be less.
It'll be
It's all-
less,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's all
it's not
based on- Everything's based on hours.
Hours.
Time
Yeah.
and
Okay.
materials,
Good.
so.
We'll get a little bit of money back,
we-
hopefully.
We,
Hopefully.
I'm all
Money is there, the money is there.
for it.
Thank you.
Yes,
I got one thing.
okay.
Because of this national administration's approach to Medicare and Medicaid funding and the impact on state budgets, it is possible what is available this year will not be available next year to small communities and cities throughout. So as of a few days back, we all got in our email, the New York Forward and the Downtown Revitalization Initiative for grant money. There's $100 million out there.
Mhm.
Challenge is it's 2 months. And I think it's November 30th is the deadline, or November something is the deadline to get a massive grant application in. And I say massive, it doesn't have to be, but there are things in the community that with state funding could move forward, that without state funding, we're bound to not get exactly what we had hoped. That may be things like the revitalization of the barns, constructive reuse versus right, if the money's here and then it has the chance of going away, we might be able to do some things. There's other things that we might like to do in the Arboretum or various parks.
Shane Place.
Or coordination with businesses on other things. What I'm saying is, I don't have all the things that.
This
we
is
want.
part of the downtown, the revitalization funding.
The New York Forward, so there's $100 million
Yes.
that's out
Well,
there.
there's a component out of that is only for smaller municipalities.
That's correct,
Which is for us.
100% correct.
Mhm.
Webster got it last year.
Yes,
Okay.
they got a bucket.
And if you go onto this website, I think you can find Webster's application.
Mhm.
And you can see the complexity of all the different figures.
Mhm.
We have people in this community who want to do all these things. Maybe we don't have quite the connections that we like with some of the revitalization of different properties. But like when we think about big opportunities, there's big spaces that require money that without it, even if it's matching or whatever it may be, we might be able to get some things done. This also includes Shane Place and the canal path, and we're
So what are your thoughts?
gosh, I don't know. That's the problem. We got 2 months and
Mhm.
this is a feasibility conversation right
Mhm.
here. And this has been around for 4 years.
Mhm.
It's been 100 million consistently this year, last year, the year before. I mean, money slowly devalues, so it's not going up, but at least it's here this year, even with the knowledge that the money's going away for Medicare from, the national funding and support. So the statement is, do we crash course the crap out of this, put things together, and frankly, not unlike last time we got a grant, put things together to get the grant and then kind of figure it out after the fact, right? What are we actually gonna do and where are we gonna go with this? It might be matching, it may not be, I don't know how they actually do it. Or do we say next year is a good plan, but I think I don't wanna walk away from never submitting a grant.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
You have no idea what that means for me to hear that. Thank you.
Mhm.
Because with a $2.1 million budget and with limited revenue streams, and the fact that we're pretty much built out, big part of our way forward is grants. We have to, period.
Mhm.
Because you take a look at what it takes to do things on a $2.1 million budget, we have to look at grants. So thank you.
This is the only way we get control too, of
Uh-huh.
outcomes. We want outdoor music amphitheaters, we want event space, we want revitalization
When you do
of,
it.
right? This is the only way that you can say, hey, the code says you can all do this, that's fine. But if you're gonna get this, this is what we're gonna do.
So when we.
Yeah, where do we go?
Yeah.
Go to the forward.
Okay,
Well-
so I've never done this.
I've done grants,
Okay.
I've done it, that's why I'm excited that someone's seeing the need for this. I wouldn't say it's almost too late, but the way it works with grants and grant cycles. we have a master grants calendar that I started, I think, my first year in office, just put them in when they're all due, because they're cyclical, they come back. And you kind of forget about it. And the thing about grant cycles, it's always a short window. So you have to be ready to pound.
Right.
You have to have it lined up. You have to get, either people in place or full pieces of the grant, knowing that, okay, I know it's gonna come up again next March. Let's start it now. Even if the form has changed.
Right.
And then what happens, say you don't get the grant, you keep it, it will always tell you where you screwed up. You go back, in other words, it's almost an iterative process at times. That's why we were so stunned when Laura got the grant her first time out of the gate. So will we be able to pounce and put something together in 8 weeks?
Even if it's small.
Even if it's, I don't,
And then if it's small, here's the problem, though, if it's small and you get it this year, you probably don't get the bigger one you really want next year.
That was gonna be my fear is, do you get canceled out?
okay, so then there's another piece of this, and this is what happened when we went for the grant for the canal path. The thought was to go for as much as you possibly can, but you don't have to take it.
Okay.
But you just go, we need $1 million. And then it's like, okay, we got 300,000, thank you, you just always shoot for the moon pretty much. Unless there's some other type of restriction in the grant where you kind of paint yourself into a corner. It's an art and a craft, and there are people that I know can help us with this. And that's something, if you guys are willing to have me reach back out, this was dropped in the past. I think it's crucial for us to be able to get some of that really good, as you say, that good stuff and that big stuff done. To be able to move it forward in some fashion.
Your fear is, given the fact that the funding is gonna have to go towards healthcare next year, that a lot of this won't be around.
Eventually, governments are gonna run out of the
They're gonna run out.
capacity. Okay. And so, yes, at some point, this whole cyclical,
Right.
they pay us, goes away, and they run out.
But they
At this point, but the other piece of it, and actually, I'm reaching back out again to Jen Lunsford, because there's other machinations going on, so a lot of this won't go away. There's other sort of funds that have been sort of put aside that they have not been able to access, which now the pressure will be on the assembly to do something.
Yeah.
So the immediate ask would be for you to be able to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna
reach back out.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach right back out, because we
Maybe
gotta
the
find
first
out
thing-
really what's gonna go on.
Maybe the first thing is if you could reach out to New York, right? We are New York, but bigger New York, and ask them, what was the conversation like regarding these fundings in Albany? What is the likelihood that it's going to be there and persist into next year? And we'd like to apply. If we don't this year, let's move this thing forward and try to get the pieces.
You heard part of what Jen was trying to
Sure.
convey when you were at the meeting,
Yep.
and so she spoke about that fund that was not accessible, that now may be.
Right.
We'll speak about it in very vague terms,
But
just
the
because.
certainty factor, because I think, Dave, you were referencing. If there's a risk to it, then you take the risk of spending some money, possibly getting a grant and not ever really having it come to fruition and using it. The better approach would be to potentially do it internally to a degree, right? Absent of needing to work on design things.
Right, prep it.
That was the whole
Spend that
point
time,
of where.
pull all the pieces
Yeah.
together.
Thank you so
That's
much
right.
again. That was the
That's
whole
right.
point of what we had proposed many, many years ago, over and over again. Let us get all the pieces that we possibly can put in place, and then vet it with someone who can say, this is how you're gonna get it to the finish line.
Right.
This is what we're gonna do.
And-
So you're not dropping $100,000 every single time.
Okay.
Even though you could get $1 million back, I mean, not a bad.
Right, but if we can do 50 grand of the work and let somebody else do the other 25.
Anything.
You are preaching to a choir.
So then we'll hear from you internally.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach right out to Jen and just kind of find out where we are with all this, because, my thought would be that maybe we would want to look at something else, and it's just gonna change, sure, keep going on change.
we'll keep it going. We got a lot.
Yeah.
of things we
Yeah,
can-
there's a
Right.
lot,
We got an HEDPW, we have.
there's a lot of moving parts. Okay, anything else?
Okay.
No. We're good. I make a motion, we adjourn.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Willis.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Hi.
Trustee Linda.
Hi.
Mayor Plummer.
Hi. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
What if I said no?
I